All right. What's
Okay,
going
we
on,
are
everybody?
live and in charge. Introduce yourself. You were on the last stream, but there might be other people. Introduce yourself, your channel, whatever you want.
Yeah, my name's Wargaming Dad. I like to do various things on my channel, but one of my favorite things to do is talk about the characters, specific with a tinge of gaming. We'll say I like talking about the anti-woke characters, but I also like just about any shitter drama that I can get my hands on. I've been deep in the trenches of the VTuber
Wars.
victimhood wars lately. So, but
His
that's me. If you ever
current
want to watch me,
grift seems to be Chippy reviews. Might switch over to Indy because his stupidity is legendary. Unfortunately,
Indy
Chippy
is
isn't making the list. He's a latecomer, even more late than normal ones.
yeah, he came
Too
in at the
sad.
end.
There's a lot of people who won't make the list. Let me actually do a little warm-up act to sort of get us into this. As normal, I'm Vincent Martin, Madman with the YouTube channel. Okay. Play off of the old school Doctor Who, which even I can agree went to shit. Is it wokeness? Is it bad writing? I don't care. It's bad now.
I would call the last season of Doctor Who woke in my own
Probably.
opinion.
I haven't watched it. I watched David Tennant and I'm like, oh God, how did they ruin this? It just, I tend to go away. So we have a little bit of a warm-up act. I sort of missed out. This is my secret, super secret Twitter where you fuck around and you find out. So we'll do this real quick before getting into the tier list. I want people to argue with me when I try to play. So please, War, what are you good for? Try to get, if I say something, don't agree with me. Automatically, if I try to play someone in a tier, I like disagreement. I like the discussion that comes out of it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
if I think you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. I like that. I hate yes men. Okay. I don't like people who stubbornly knock their head against the wall with the same fucking point, but I don't like someone who's just going to agree with you no matter what. Not my cup of tea. Like a little bit of warm and hot. There's probably many honorable mentions that should be on the list, but like Dead Domain, but they don't get much out of certain bubbles besides maybe Much You Like Posting with the, what was that? Here, I have his channel. This guy here, the Gunnar Necker Khan. Okay. But he's really focused just on Kern. Okay. I think he's from a podcast who interviewed Mr. Airbagger back before he was the Legion of Airbaggers, which is really fucking annoying and stupid. Sometimes they have good information, but you have to verify what they got. But
it was funny at first.
Yeah, but they definitely get nasty. Okay, escalation of powers there. Oh, Tenet was good. I agree. Tenet was good. It was just, oh God, I couldn't get over the whole. I defended the point about the sort of everyone looking at the daughter, the but no, I defended that point. The next episode was blah. I just couldn't go back to it. It's just a me thing. Okay. Tenet's still good. He's always good though. But the warm-up list. Okay. We get into the warm-up list because I'm a veteran of this crap, although I shouldn't be. So let's start with Paul Scott Casavan, who's one of the people who got off of Smash's Friends of Kotaku. Because at this point, this is where we're at. And I thought this was, I thought what he said was pretty fucked up. But he walked it back. He's like, and they had to take the worst interpretation of it. And I do want to highlight
what was it that he
said?
thing.
Oh, here.
Because I don't know
this is
guy.
The absolute. This was after Allison contacted Smash's wife. I forget the particular details. Yep. I think it's off of this. Gotcha. Anyways, I found your wife's Facebook and asked what she thinks about the husband of her children harassing women online. Laugh when they share someone's support. Been threatening to kill them for weeks.
Jesus.
We're gonna get into Allison in a bit. Groms amplified that. Plenty of people amplified that. And they even put the company he works for out there. This was off of one tweet. There's a right way to do this. And they frame this horribly. Because we're going to see this. Yes? Thoughts?
I say, well, that's kind of the thing that it happens to happen. I mean, this is kind of an agreement with you.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Sorry about that.
There is one particular thing that I found funny. Anyone who's familiar with actual wokeness will recognize this. This is a call to action to all stakeholders in the gaming community. Does that stand out to you, War?
Say that again. It's a call out to stakeholders?
Yes, call to action to all stakeholders in the gaming community.
Oh, is it in the
Do you know what it
community?
is?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, like this is a typically lefty thing. It's shareholders, the capitalist shareholders. And a lot of leftists use stakeholder capitalism. Stakeholder.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of stakeholder. The far right people who are saying, yeah, he's woke. I'm starting to come to see what they mean, not just the victim complex that Smash has, even some of the language stakeholders. He definitely was more lefty minded. Maybe he's gone more to the right, but at the end of the day, so
Smash goes towards whatever is best for him.
I think he's the people are saying he's like woke libertarian. I mean, that's a little loose, but he's sort of like that. So Park Place, of course, they started everything. Everyone read from that Park Place in the beginning. Old lore. Now they use Smash JT or just tweets. So all of this fun stuff. Here was the comment section because he has a YouTube channel. So because he locked down, he has a YouTube channel. To be clear, this whole thing blew up over a tweet response where I deleted because I worded it really badly. It was responding to a woman who has received a death claim. He might have not even knew who Allison was at the time. I certainly didn't for a long time. Okay. I focused on the old name of Nathan Grayson when he went on to Vito's stream to sort of talk about it. I was in a different mindset. I wasn't really focused on Allison. I was all down for, what Sweet Baby Inc. is pretty fucking bad and a horrible direction for the movement to go into. I'm not going to go to the conspiracy levels that some of these schizos went into.
You don't believe that they forced governments to to do DEI programs?
No, they
small Canadian.
They were progressives who I saw it as progressives trying to take advantage of increasingly progressive culture. Okay, just like these guys seem to be taking advantage of now that it's swinging back the other way. They're taking advantage of the culture swinging to the right now. That's how I see this at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think they're failing at it though. They're doing a much worse job than the woke
they're
did.
Imitating these guys. I mean, even if you don't like the term woke right, I think it's a general feel to it is right. These guys are just imitating what the left did, but with opposite energy. Okay. No regards for their own. Like I'm one of these more centrists who are focused on individual responsibility and individual values. Okay.
So you're a fence sitter is what you're saying.
Nope. I take why would I go against these motherfuckers if I was a fence sitter? I would stay quiet and be a coward. Dev is a good example.
So this guy sent a death threat, or no? He said he found her Facebook, right? A big bet. And or Smash's wife's Facebook sent out the tweet.
Allison said,
I know. Are you talking about Alyssa?
Yeah,
or
Alyssa. Sorry.
Yeah, Alyssa. No, you're
Alyssa.
good. You're good. I was just making sure. You're good. I was just making sure. Alyssa is the one who got in contact with the wife, and I guess this guy made a tweet about it.
Yeah, he saw
And
that a woman was saying this guy was sending death threats, and this guy promoted it. So he just a reactionary thing. They
right.
focused on plenty of people were, but they saw that he had a company. So what happened to his Facebook? Hypnotic, one of the names that's going to come up. Have you been teasing a developer, advocating for harassing people, families, and ideological disagreements? Like, look at this shit.
This is
If this isn't an attempt to get him fired or in trouble, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's definitely a what do they say is happening to them right now? This is a cancel culture attempt. This is an attempt at canceling somebody for their speech.
I pretty much
this tweet isn't even that bad. It's the absolute play.
Yeah, but they had to twist it to they wouldn't double down. You want to kill him? No, I meant what he was proposing still. These guys on GamerGate 2, you should go to their family and contact them. That's still fucked up. Okay. Allison's a crazy lady who's dealing with other crazy people for a month. And she still is we're going to get into that. Okay. When we get to her, I'll save that for later. But
so this guy white knighted, and he he got fucking shit for it. Because when you go after the anti-woke, they try and cancel you.
Yeah. Then there was this particular woman here, old school thing. Like I was around back then. It's probably before your time. So, yeah.
I mean, I was lightly into. I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter at the point, but I do remember some of this stuff. Yeah. Well, that changed.
Yeah. Why the hell did you get into this? I was right here. Grums. He tagged Grums. I'm like, you need that spat to get involved. Did you need help bullying the stupid young girl next? I think that says it all there. Everyone jumped onto this like they always fucking do, promoting each other's video on this crap, dog piling this stupid. Yeah, she is unhinged. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think.
This is why I say she's unhinged. This is a comment from her video. I'm like, frankly, I think it's dumbest bash to put Emma on blast on X. I can't agree with most of this, even if I do have issues with the anti-woke side. I have almost as many issues with the woke side too. Blah, blah, blah. So we had a little back and forth in our comments section, and she's out. And I found this interesting. Some extra ones, McDizzle was in this before I knew who he was. He was just another name in the crowd. I think he should be held accountable for calling what Allison, the one polite note of harassment. I said in my comment, I can't tell you or not if it's polite or not. That's subjective. Even he says, what the fuck's with the defenders of her re-emptying it with the word polite? Yeah, Smash, that is subjective as fuck. I would argue doing it is anything but polite. But she DM'd you first. Okay, after a month. Okay, I can understand. I don't advocate for it, but I can understand it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know if she did never dox the number out, right?
Take accountability, man. That was completely subjective, man. Okay, you calling it?
Yeah, you went too light on that, calling it weird.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's definitely unhinged and weird. I can understand why a woman like that would feel pressure having this group of YouTubers constantly talking about her. I would have ignored it if I was her. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to go about it. I would have, like, if I could say, if someone called my wife, I would probably become pretty irate myself. But I don't know. I have to look at the situation.
Yes. Here's some other context. Not really this. It's not really related right now, but I just wanted. Do you know where this is from, War?
Let me see. Well, as usual, these folks are trying to actually dox me now. This is the same guy from earlier, right?
No, this is
Hello,
one
I
of the
found the.
insane people who did a sort of
Oh,
website to freak people out. And the fact that
gotcha.
Smash JT never mentions this guy at all. He omits this.
Yeah.
The fact, even though multiple people. Just this one comment. What the fuck is Grums going on about with the owner of Second Wind weaponizing his Discord server? What I'm seeing from there is Nick was doing an investigation on Grum's failed game adventure. You can't tell where this is from?
Uh,
If you can't, you
I mean,
haven't been in
this is from freaking Ember, right?
No,
Maybe I'm wrong.
what website? I'll give you a hint. It's a website
Oh,
that Smash
is this?
JT went to.
I
Just
know what
all
website
really
this is.
okay.
This is
You
the
if you know
forums. This
where it
is one of my
is, you know
favorite
where it is.
sites. Yeah,
And
it's one of
look,
my
Damage
favorite sites to go
Sector.
to.
Someone I think is rather good faith was in on it also. So just a little bit of context coming up. The
Yeah, I've
reason,
seen Damage Sector around a little bit.
yeah, I try to talk to people around the scene. My thing is all about communications, trying to understand each other. I've been seeing a lot of these guys, Damage Sector, so I try to talk to them. I think that's good. Communication's good. I don't
Oh
want
yeah,
to
you got a
become a
network.
it's not really networking when you're talking about people who aren't fucking going to get you anywhere. What these guys do is networking. So
Yeah.
since this guy is going to be unknown to almost even veterans, is this what I wanted to do? No, this guy here. There's a good reason. Good reason I brought him up because no one knows who he is, and it comes to Sid Alpha.
Oh, I know Sid. I've watched Sid before. I
Yeah,
was,
no one
you know.
knows about his fight with this dipshit here, CL. And he was
Oh,
pushed
I
by a
know.
lot of them early on. He's sort of, I don't see him pop up or around. I assume he's going off.
I see him say something every now and again, but it's usually some dog shit comment
Yeah,
that he
he's just a
makes.
big, edgy boy.
Yeah.
And of course, the Legion of Airbaggers bring up something rather negative about the man.
That
Yeah,
doesn't surprise
I
me.
don't think it's great, but how edgy he is, I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. I've seen him. I've
So
seen him do. I don't approve of it. I think sunlight is the best disinfectant, and he wasn't getting any views more. He wasn't getting really any views. Now he's into another one of these martyrs that they. I disagree with it, but if he did do something, which I believe he would have.
right. Well, I'm all about free speech, right? And that's the argument they like to use is free speech. But companies have a right to platform whoever they want to platform. You know, like you have
There's
a right to refuse
liabilities
service
with
to
them.
anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I got kind of deep into the weeds with Ryan after after that right there. Actually, over
Okay.
over that game. And I went to his channel and listened to it, and he just like you can get away with some slurs on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
There's I saw an actual paper on the that got leaked during their Australia Google versus Australia, and there's an algorithm to it. But you go to his channel and he just straight up is. I was watching his coverage of Ghost of Yoida, and
Yeah.
he was
However you
just
pronounce
straight
that shit, I
calling.
guess. Thing.
Yeah, he was calling the actress the C word for an Asian lady, just like multiple times over and again. I'm like, and this guy hasn't been kicked off of YouTube yet. So once I heard that, I was like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He was just a
Yeah.
ticking time bomb waiting to go off. I'm surprised he didn't take another YouTuber with him because they let them
Yeah.
all on this platform.
I want them out there saying their mind. I don't watch
I agree.
Ryan. Him and Will the fans, the spat with fucking
Dumb dumb. He doesn't like
McDizzle.
me.
Okay, the whole McDizzle thing. They were all assholes and lied through their teeth to protect their precious Smash. Okay, I don't think McDizzle is perfect by any regards, but
I'll say the first video that McDizzle made on Grums, McDizzle, I like you, but it was terrible. It was a bad video. Like the information was there, but it was hard to watch. So he's done
okay.
better since then.
Well, yeah, prove. I will have no comments on that. I can
But
I can put up with a lot of videos. though. So yeah,
Hope that's not true.
Brutus. This is who we're starting
GamerGate
with.
2.
We're getting into
Oh,
the
okay.
tier list, starting at the
Good old
very
Cabrutus.
tippy top. Cabrutus, some background. I like Cabrutus in the beginning. He seemed like an honest, upright person who just got a. I don't know if that's true or not. I thought how he was conducted it. Because look at him from the start. And he even dispelled the sort of bullshit about the IMDb articles. That was not
Yeah.
proof that a game went. I liked him in the beginning, but this is sort of him going down, sort of him falling off. He did a lot of stupid things. Look how he changes over time.
It
Support
emphasize how
content.
much I want to provide support to the content creators out there by forming a strong front together. We'll be able to reach important goals for the worldwide gaming community and defeat DEI once and for all. In order to do that, I have created a dedicated channel that on my Discord server where content creators can meet, talk, and exchange ideas. Now that I didn't know he did that, I was on Cabrutus' side in the beginning. What Sweet Baby was trying to do was
I was too.
it was
I thought it
ridiculous.
was,
Yeah.
of course, Kendrick, but he's slow. You can see the slow sort of creep. And I got to plug my old school ethics GamerGaters here. I took forever to read Tachyon Blue's book, but I got some interesting stuff, especially relevant to this. Because Tachyon Blue, he interviewed this one woman who Cabrutus unfairly maligned. I would agree with that. Did it on another stream, and he had this information out there. His name's out there, so don't worry about that being toxic.
Gotcha.
I got his permission to also show this. Hey, Kevin.
Okay.
Cabrutus' personal agent in DEI detected worldwide PR. Let's start saying thanks for your concern. That being said, if the first guys of GamerGate failed, there's a reason. The reason is that you guys played out was completely wrong. You missed every single important goal. And I know the cause because I was there. Thank you again, blah, blah, blah. So these are the yes men around Cabrutus. And they get, I think at some point they threatened to fucking talk about suing him. Okay.
Really?
I like Tachyon Blue, but I think the veiled threats here within this, he might play it up a little bit.
I personally don't like when I hear YouTubers talk about suing each other because 99% of the time it's being done to silence people. It's not being done because of actual defamation or anything like that. So
we'll get into some stuff when we talk about Nick. Okay, I want some thoughts on that. So I think that this just seems like, I think Cabrutus had well intentions, but he was the victim. He was a deserved victim for a while, but he had yes men come around. Okay, fuck this context. Let's get on with the list. It's been long enough. Let's get into the nitty gritty of the list. I'll give it a bit. Let's start with some low players. So Cabrutus. Chat. What do we think about Cabrutus? I'm going to try to pay more attention in chat. Cabrutus basically became a cancel culture supporter. It's basically just cancel games. Yeah, I had a whole stream where he, because he was peer pressured, he created a whole new category to put a bellular gaming, not someone I was familiar with until I looked into it. Just to put it, community mismanagement. Go to DI Detective if you want for yourself. You'll find that's the only one with the community mismanagement. You can say that about any place.
Yeah, it's such a weak.
And they were crying about, people, we got banned. No, it's called brigade. And if you asking questions is not harassment. But if you have a lot of people asking the same question over and over again without really recognizing the problems with it and not really accepting the answers, that's called brigading. And that probably broke the TOS. That's my thoughts on that at the time. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
War?
Yeah, I mean, I hate that I just have to agree with it because I mean,
You don't
it's
have to. You
well,
can
I
be
mean, I
all
don't have
for
much that I
brigading people power, man. Okay.
no, I'm never for
Okay.
brigading. I don't give a shit who you are. Like there's an argument. Like I don't believe that every YouTuber is responsible for their fan base, right? But at the same time, you still have to. You can do a little bit more than just nothing and hide behind that. I'm not responsible for my fan base. But when it comes to brigading, once it's flat out, I'm like, nah, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
You,
I mean,
win your
I have,
arguments on stream against them.
huh?
I said, win your arguments on stream against them. Go talk to them, prove them wrong with evidence, any of that other
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, I understand being paranoid about Allison going into Sweet Baby being detected, but they also
Yeah.
definitely hyped up that they were trying to dox them, and that came from a couple of people like Hypnotic, as I found out. Not sure what
Mm-hmm.
I remember this Illuminati and Think Before You Sleep. That was fucked up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't like that, but Think Before You Sleep. I think he has some issues, but he was in the right there. See, there aren't bad people, there are bad things. Two things can
Yeah.
be bad at the same time, and I sided with Think Before You Sleep on that particular matter, and definitely a really fucked up case that still happened. But yeah. Okay, so Cabrutus did nothing wrong. No, definitely not.
No, definitely not.
I'm not sure. I meant let's give him
Uh,
the sort of right but mistakes
yeah.
he made. Okay, I
Yeah,
think
I
he's doing the
agree because
best.
I think he had well, like he was a nobody before, right? So he was kind of a nobody who just made a little sub on
Yeah, he made
Steam so
a
that he
he
could talk
out
about
of
games that
the
he thought were
what
woke.
the he was inspired. He saw this,
Mhm.
and Alyssa assumed he knew about all the Kiwi Farm and all the other crazy conspiracy theories about Sweet Baby. So and she just assumed that he was a part of it. I don't think he was. I think he was genuine. Maybe some of the yes
Mhm.
men who gravitated towards him and placed themselves around him definitely were those types, but I'm not going to speak beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, what I
Yeah.
think happened is he had the right thing. Everyone got on his side. Like everybody got on his side. I don't even think there was anyone
Oh, there was a
outside
few
of the really far
dumbasses like
left.
actual
Yeah,
fandom, Nathan Grayson on Veto. Even Allison sort
I
of
like the
omitted it. Okay. She omitted that
yeah.
part. I can't deny that. Okay.
Mhm.
Was she doing that on purpose? Because I found a particular thing where this happened where the editor, I think it was Ash Patrician. There was one of these
uh,
things that talked to someone that I found it again, and Tachyon Blues Gamergate 2 book talking about this, where the
mhm.
management's one of the reporters that I think is on DEI did not no sorry on Smash is Kotaku detected talked to this
Mhm.
one person and like yeah I wanted to do that report honestly about that but I talked to management and realized these guys were bad. That's you're gonna have to actually pony up for Gamergate 2 Tachyon Blues book if you want this info.
Yeah, I'll have
But
to do that. I'll take a look at it.
you
So,
don't have
you
to.
see Pope over here. He's telling us, "Hey, you guys are being too nice. I would double barrel them."
I try to
So,
be fair. I try to be fair
yeah, I'll give it to
because I'm
Cabrutus in the very
naturally an
beginning.
asshole. I have to try hard to
Yeah,
be fair.
I was
And
still
I
an
don't
anti-woker at Cabrutus's time, right? I
I'm
think
still
he fell
anti-woke,
into that
okay?
hole.
I just don't go into the cuz I see the people going too far as woke right,
Yeah.
okay? I'm all
Don't
about
worry though.
modernism.
There's gonna be plenty of people on this list that I'm gonna fucking lean into.
Okay, this guy's a no one. I just put him here because that way I could put Norway here. This guy hasn't been hasn't done He's part of the synthetic sort of crew. Okay. How did this loser get here?
Oh,
Because I just wanted to put Nure in here. I'm pairing people up. Nure's a weird
okay.
one. Okay. Really fucking weird one. Okay. She made her name off of Asmongold. You'll see him later. We'll have a little discussion, a little talk about him. I'm
Oof.
sure where to put him. He's a real confusing one to put. Nure here. And I'm going to actually have to put this aside so you can see this list a bit. But yeah, Nure. I don't know where to put her.
Nore. I
I think she's
I
a
want to
little
put
bit
her.
woke, but a little bit anti-woke. So, damn.
Well, yeah, she got what she talks about getting famous off of Dragon Age Veilguard. So it's like very, I guess, recently that she got into the anti-woke scene. I want to put her in Mostly Wrong but Dumb and Delusional because she's a woman.
Fair
Uh
enough. Fair enough. I think that's I try to. I have the same sort of a misogynistic impulse myself. I try to fight against it. I try and try to
yeah.
not tell every woman I meet who seems dumb and flippant to go in the kitchen and make
Yeah.
me a sandwich. I
Though I
have
do
to
want to
fight against that.
say, I almost want to say mixed bag with her. I do like her too, Jeremy. I think she's a pretty cool person. Some people have
Yeah.
called me a simp because I like going in there and ratting it with her.
Mm,
But I still say a mixed bag. Like
okay.
she, sometimes I feel like she's right. Sometimes I feel like she's wrong.
Yeah. I almost wanted to put her in sort of right, but I think she's too much of a wild card for that. You don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Her fighting with Indy, beautiful. Is she right all the time? Probably not, but it's funny. Okay. I shouldn't give
Watching
people
her
a
go
pass
into
for
it is
being
funny.
funny, but when they're funny, she's good enough because her stream response to Remnant was horrible when I went through it. I'm like, that
Yeah.
loser. Yeah, he's a hard-headed someone you can't talk to. Okay. A lot of people have fought with
But
him on a low scale. He's funny, but
does she endorse censorship? That I didn't know. Oh, see, that's
yeah, that
already a
sort of
thing.
hurt her a little bit. Even though I was sort of like, oh, that's a little sus. I mean, I understand why she took it with the game she was talking about, a game
Yeah.
about rape. I understand it. I don't agree with it personally because
Right.
I think
Right.
the market, again, I sort of have a libertarian leaning. I'm not libertarian at all, but I think the market generally weeds this stuff out more than most of the time. If it's not a big deal, why should you compromise on censorship? That's my stand on that.
Well, yeah. See, here's where we're already disagreeing. I don't think it was censorship. It's to me, it's not censorship. What I believe in, like the game, even after it went off of Steam, you can still buy it. The way I look at it from Steam's point of view, and this is one thing that I'm a prude. While I believe in freedom of speech, I believe porn has a right to exist. I don't believe it has a right to
Yeah,
be
even if there's a
sold
porn
on.
epidemic,
Yeah,
okay, that is like medically
well, it's like,
proven that it, but it's like gambling addiction. I've seen some people
yeah,
make
well, right.
insane claims that it's like drug
But I
addiction.
can't
No,
go into a normal store and buy porn, and that's kind of the way I think of Steam.
okay.
Yeah, you can put the porn games and all the little anime weirdo games in like their own store. I just don't like them being on Steam. That's my personal opinion. They still have a right to be there. It's not censorship if a company doesn't want to deal with it.
Mm.
I was
Yeah,
never
her
given.
stance on censorship is definitely a mixed bag. Just the
Yeah,
approach to it.
yeah, I can
Okay.
agree with that on her.
But I'm not
I've
gonna
also listened to her. Oh, you were there for that. I listened to her video
oh
on
god,
RPGs,
yes.
and that
I
was
can't
whew, that was bad video.
there's sometimes I'm thankful that other people that I make videos tolerable for me because I tried to watch that on my own. I'm like, nope, out to S video essays, not enough details for my man mind. But she's a female. I'm not gonna say much, but
Yes.
this is painful for me to go through. Okay, let's just get this loser out. He's a person. He's a way to get Dev on the list. Kazuya, he did a video on a leftist I did years ago. I recently
I saw
updated my stream. He's going to go there no matter what. Okay, he shouldn't be on this
Mhm.
list. But
Well, I don't know who he is, so if I don't know who
and
you are,
I
then
listened
I
to
don't know
a
why you're on the
personal
list.
stream because when you hear him talk, his logic makes sense. You see him do his shit on fucking Twitter, he seems like a complete retard. Okay? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's
enough said.
probably it.
Enough said. Okay. And also I watched a little, what was it? A Twitter stream? Not Twitter. Fucking hell. Twitch stream that he kept his VODs up. He was talking about Hassan. He had a good take even for a lefty that that Hassan wasn't all on the right. He was a little bit too hard on Ethan for my opinion, but I side towards
Mhm.
against Hassan where he does not. That's all I'll say on
Gotcha.
that particular Spurg. I just think for a lefty, really balanced guy, but acts like a retard on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay, Rev Dev.
Rev Dev.
I
I think
I wanna
Rev,
I'm
like I've
putting him
watched it.
just there for now. We're not done. Definitely a
Uh-huh.
loser type. Late gamer, bitch made motherfucker. In my opinion, though.
So I don't like him for a variety of reasons. His lolicon takes. I only think he got famous because Asmon posts him up pretty regularly. Uh, he's got a bunch of dog shit opinions. Like every time I hear him say something, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I can't say much on his anime takes. I only
They're
have like
basic bitch anime
5
takes.
animes I like.
Okay. He
Yeah.
goes more for the lolly defense force. I mean, occasionally he's in alignment with me, like the Zaki
Hmm.
stuff. I'm like, yeah, she's not a child, motherfuckers. She has a childlike feature and huge ass fucking boobs. Why are people freaking out about this? That was the whole moralities thing. I admit, Dragon Maiden is weird, but it's fiction. Yeah, finding
Yeah.
the lowly design within the context, a lot of the characters make sense.
Is that one of
But
the
there
ones
is
that she's a
some,
400-year-old dragon?
yeah, that was the whole thing. It's not really a defense in that case. If you're
Yeah.
beating your meat to the little girl, where they use the little jokes that are more prevalent in
Hmm.
anime, they don't do it for a sexual purpose. The whole show is
Yeah.
sexual in nature, but it sort of mocks a lot of anime tropes and ideas. It's a very silly show, little
Gotcha.
slice of life mixed with some outrageous action sequences. I understand why it's popular, and I understand why it freaks some people out, especially with the young looking huge boob dragon of chaos. She's meant to fuck with people. She's of course she's gonna look like a fucking lolly with huge boobs and be a complete menace. She even brought that to society with her introduction to the show.
Uh-huh.
So sorry for the
I
tangent.
haven't. I
It's
can't.
totally
No,
out
no,
of the
you're
way.
good. I haven't watched much on that show, so
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
a lot about it. I mean, like I
I
said, I don't have a lot in
I
the.
forced myself to watch the first season to do a certain stream to see if the lolly stuff was explicit. I'm like, no, okay, they're doing a lot of this crap for comedy's sake. It looks like it's a silly show that's trying to be absurd, and there's definitely
Yeah,
some criticism I could give the show for those choices, but saying it's lolly bait and trying to turn people into pedos with pedo designs, get the fuck out with that. Okay. There's certain
that's
lines.
probably true. There's much better examples, I think,
Yeah.
out
If you
there
want to
for
talk about
lolly
lolly
baiting.
hentai where they show actual children getting fucked on
Yeah.
stream, I mean, in these comics and in these anime, this actual porn, yeah, I wouldn't say it should be censored because I'm not for that. But I think people who watch that and literally beat their meat to that sort of content, yeah, they're either fucked up in one way or another. I'm also a very psychological person. Not everyone is a pedo who would do that. There's some just sexual predators. Like I for my pedo bait thing, I'm like, yeah, Vosh isn't a pedo. He's an omnisexual. Do I think he would, if he thought he could get away with it, have sex with a hot looking 14-year-old that he was attracted to? Yes, I think he would. That doesn't make him a pedo, but it makes him a sexual predator who doesn't care about the age. That's my thought on that. No thoughts? So Rev was a defender. You have any more thoughts on him or not enough? We need Simon to really give us a rant and he's not here. Did I lose War? What are you good for, War? Damn.
Oh, there we are. There we are.
Okay, War's back. Okay,
that's what I get
to
for
decide where Rev is.
So
I think he's a mixed
here's my
bag.
thing.
Okay.
I think he's a clout goblin.
You think he's just pure clout? I can see the argument for that.
He makes content specifically for Asmongold. It's Asmon pulls him up like every time there's something that is of interest to him. So to me, it feels like he started with Asmongold, and that's what he tries to do is field content that Asmon will watch. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're doing a tier list, Romeo. Pure tier. We're trying to figure out where different figures of GG2 GamerGate 2 fit on this particular tier list. Some might not fit perfectly, but we're trying to figure out. Rev said Desu. Okay, mixed bag, mostly wrong, dumb or delusional, or most likely in the money. I'll go with War thing. Most likely in the money.
Yeah, I just say like you'll probably see quite a few that I think are this way, at least amongst the anime people.
Yeah,
because there's this group that.
We'll get to Melanie Mac. That's going to be a fun discussion. We're going over the weak ones.
Melanie Mac.
This guy, I talked about him already. Irrelevant. Fuck him. Edgy little boy.
I mean, he tries to be edgy, but Sid
is going to be an interesting one. I have my disagreements with him all the time, but
same here.
Okay. I think he tries really hard. I would definitely look to mostly right, but did it like an idiot, or sort of right, but mistakes were made.
Mistakes. I think that's where I sit with him, as the sort of right, but mistakes were made. But I would say slurs. Sorry, Romeo, I'm holding myself back. The reason I say like sort of right but makes mistakes over even mostly right could fit. The thing is there's times that I see him go with the flow on some of the GamerGate stuff, and it's not until after it comes out that it's wrong does he kind of backpedal a little bit. There's been several takes I've heard him say that are kind of like,
I think he tries to be ethically sound, and his bias is against the wokeoids, against the leftists. I think I fight against that. I really have to fight hard. If it wasn't for a particular video, I don't know if I would have came around when I did. But Never Knows Best video, I'm not going to put him in there. There was problems with this video. I have a whole stream going over that. Even had someone who came in to argue against me, because that's how I roll. But in the end, I think it was mostly right of an argument he was making. If he was here, I would put mostly right, but did it like an idiot. People would probably give me shit because he is a cheeky ass motherfucking Brit, a VideoTube essayist with probably not much of a spine, but fair is fair there. Okay, let's get the whole thing. I think we came up with just the representation of the Weeb crew who went after Kirsha.
Oh, who is that Bit?
Yeah.
Or Bent?
Ben, I just call him the Weeb crew. Ben's Weeb crew. Okay.
Yeah,
I would actually put the mostly dumb, mostly wrong,
I kind of
but dumb and delusional. I want to put the good faith. I bet they're absolutely right. Not absolutely right about Kirsha. There's a lot of things they get right about Kirsha. Well,
they're so far. Like you can just see the lefty seeping off of them, and there were a lot of times like I read her comments on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, you're in the right direction, but now you've gone too far to the left. She's one of those people that probably wouldn't like me, or he, I don't know,
Yeah.
they, that
He,
wouldn't
she,
like me
they.
because I would say something like retarded, and
Yeah.
I've seen them, virulently
I bet the article looked at the
endorse
level when
cancel.
you went over it. Okay. It seemed
Yeah.
at the level, it seemed fine. I seen some retard
Mhm.
libertarian go through and just go like, oh, this is a homonym. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Okay. There, the article was perfectly fine. You didn't like the framing, fine. It's more about the coordinated effort behind the scenes that I find objectionable. Okay.
Right.
That's where, yeah, Kirsch, fucking hell. I'm just gonna put
God.
it next to their best friends, the Weeb crew there. Okay, she can
See,
sit there
I
until we
would.
decide to put her. We did a whole stream
Yeah.
with that, so I'm not gonna
Mhm.
go over much there.
Yeah,
You
I
can
had a
watch
lot to
that
say
stream
about
if you want.
Kirsch.
Yeah, well, okay, get it out. Okay,
I mean, I think she's a clout goblin, like just like
okay.
Rev is. She's she's she does the cancel culture hoping to get people on board. Now, her direction may not have started as Asmongold like the way Rev does, but once she got that Asmongold attention, she started dick sucking real hard to stay
Yeah.
on that level. So I
Yep.
think
Murray
she's
got the Aspen Gold clout, but
yeah, but she doesn't like suck him off the way Kirsch did. Like she's been
agree.
reposting videos of him. She's added him and things that she does. She is 100% just clout goblining at this point.
We'll get to you, McDizzle. We'll get to you. I haven't decided you yet.
He said, he's saying, put yourself up there though, Vincent. Where do you sit on the chart?
I haven't gotten anything. If I was there,
Oh,
I would be in how did this loser get here on. Okay. I haven't had any
yeah,
significant wins. I got retweeted by Grums. I went through my thing, retweeted by Grums, and the motherfuckers just ignored me, okay? Because they knew I would fight
yeah.
them and I would fucking win. Because I always do that when people actually fight me. Because I'm a
Mhm.
motherfucking scrappers and they're a whole bunch of pussies. But I'm still a loser because I'm willing to fight
Because
without
no one knows who
anything
we
in
are.
there. Yep. But end of the day, yeah, I would definitely be in how did this loser get here? Okay. But so would you, War. Sorry. You're more newer to
Oh, I
this.
know,
You
100%.
got less.
I mean, I'm a 4 viewer, Andy. We're not. I have no illusions from who I am.
Oh, I am even worse. I've had this channel for 8 years and I got nothing to show for it. That's because my channel was a shit posting channel for such a long time. I've probably only done anything, what decent outside of stupid shit posts maybe 3-4 years
Mhm.
ago with the normalities response. It's hit or miss with me at
Yeah,
the end of the day. But yeah, I
I
think
get
that's a
it.
good place for her. We went over her, so not much discussion there. Now here's one. Yeah, we're just gonna. No, he's not gonna stay there. I want to just do it for the meme. Okay, but we have upper
I mean,
echelon at the end of the day.
upper
Do you know
echelon was a
about this
lot
guy?
of my. Oh yeah, I was watching upper echelon before I was watching
He's one of the
NV,
old schoolers.
right?
We probably
Yeah.
go both to bat for him way too much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is one that I'm gonna try not to glaze. But
Oh,
I have a
we stay
special
out
place
the.
in my heart for upper echelon. Don't measure
I,
yourself
I
by
I am
success.
better in the shadows, McDizzle. I am happy. I thought about getting that pay for the check mark, but I was like, nah, I would rather work against the algorithm instead of have it work for me. I have fun with challenges, okay? And I argue with people still when they're willing to argue with me, which is very rare. But I will hold concessions to people who don't want to just gaslight me. Maybe sometimes I
Mhm.
overcompensate for the gaslighting attempts. But
Yeah.
yeah, upper echelon is not perfect by any regards.
No, but I
Give me
think,
your thoughts a little bit more why I get into some of the mistakes he's made.
I mean, I probably don't know about a lot of the mistakes. I mean, I've watched him grow for a long time, and when he was kind of hard into the GamerGate stuff and a lot of the woke and things like that, but he was more reasonable I'm just gonna sound like I'm fucking glazing him. He's more reasonable, I think, than a lot of other ones. And then he does. I like how he seems to do
But he
harder
doesn't take
research.
fucking criticism well. He sort of spurgs out a lot of the time
Does he?
against his
See, I
own
haven't seen
audience.
that.
You have to
Oh
look at the
no!
comments. You got
I
to look
never
at the
look at
comments,
comments.
man.
I gotta start looking at them.
Yeah, I'm looking for that, the comment section. Okay. But Grums really did him a fucking complete and utter disservice. We're not going to watch this video, but you see that video on the screen?
Oh yeah, I
Oh
remember watching
shit,
this
the
video.
comments
So
aren't there. He had a comment pinned there for a while. Maybe he has
oh
some
yeah,
self-awareness and unpinned it. Like, fuck it. Don't care. See,
I will say his video on Grums, he went soft.
he went
Like
soft and
I don't.
freaked out when the comment section's like, how dare you compare him to Zoe Quinn? He definitely spurged out in the comment
Yeah,
section from what I
yeah.
saw. Mistake,
I
mistake,
don't blame.
mistake.
That's surprising.
You
I mean,
should have
it's not
been used to
surprising. I
this.
don't know the guy that well, so
No, I'm
but you
like
can't
you.
take it
I've
that way.
watched him for a while. But yeah,
Mhm.
definitely shifty when it comes to number 8, but he's nowhere as evil as Zoe Quinn. I mean, she's a woman. He was comparing just how these people are either gaslighting him. I think it's gaslighted, or they didn't
Yeah, it's
listen.
probably
And
yes.
it
Well,
falsely he was comparing the crowdfunding thing that Zoe Quinn did compared to what Grums is doing. That was the comparison,
yeah,
and they have to get all moral faggery on his ass.
they just you want
Okay.
to hate Zoe Quinn, right? Everyone wants to. It's easy to
Yeah, of
hate Zoe
course.
Quinn.
Of course, Depression Quest, she single-handedly.
Mhm.
A lot of people bring up the Five Guys thing and how she got her ex-boyfriend to kill herself. What people don't bring up is she actually in Gamergate, she actually it's at least believed that she derailed event to help women in gaming get into gaming. There was like an event, I forget, young
Well,
libertarians or something, like trans, maybe not trans. I forget the details, but they derail. She didn't like it because she was doing her own thing. So she had someone, I think it was Nathan Grayson or one of those guys, to sort of give them shit and not get any in return. There was a lot of things in the original Gamergate.
oh yeah, I think I remember that. Wasn't Zoe also the one that sucked dick to get a good review? Is that what you're?
I think that's exaggerated, but not too far off the mark. Okay. She was definitely messing around with a couple of guys in the industry for favors. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was definitely happened. We don't know how far it went.
Yeah.
I like to think that that's what she was doing because it's a common trope among women. And I
Fair
was
enough. Fair
I was a
enough.
Zoe hater back in the day. I was a Zoe hater, and I probably still am. I don't think she's, you know,
Yeah.
she was never
Nita
a
Nita
positive
was
look on the
cringe
game.
and she definitely
Yeah.
latched onto this
Yeah.
energy. Okay.
Mhm.
None of them are as bad as Brianna Wu, I think. I think she was the biggest
Oh,
one to
don't
try
even
to
get into it.
claw her ways in and become part of the conversation. And even
Well,
the
she's trying to
lefties
do it on
hate
the
her doing.
right now.
Yes, she is. Okay.
She's a fucking chameleon.
If she was on this
That's
list, if she was on this list, I would put her most likely in for Money Under the Cloud. But upper
yeah.
echelon, I think he's good. Too a little bit good, too soft sometimes. A little bit like, yeah, I'm going to try to frame this for my audience, but still being an asshole about it. So I
Well, if
don't
he's
know.
spurging out on comments and stuff like that, I would put him in the category just below did nothing wrong. Like, yeah, he's being an idiot if he's spurging out on comments. Like
And even
you
in
gotta take
some of his
comments with a grain of
commentary,
salt.
it's like, why are you phrasing it this way? There's several different things.
Yeah,
He's like, I know
yeah,
this video is going to get hate. Why the fuck are you saying that? Just say,
yeah.
he preempts stuff like a fucking idiot. I think he's mostly in the right. His bias might throw him
Mhm.
off in some places. He tries to be
Well,
good.
he gets in trouble like in the way that he goes after these big guys who then want to sue him or send him. He's gotten a lot of cease and desist from different people. The comparison is grifting using a crowdfunded game.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
was
Sad. This
he
keeps
wanted to
happening
make the
to so
comparison.
many
I
gamers.
understood it.
Yeah,
Anyone who went out it
yeah.
understood it, but I think they were gaslighting him, and he's susceptible to that shit. I think Kirsch went after
Well,
him, but I have a whole video on that. So plug if you want to know my thoughts on that bullshit there. Not going to go over in the stream. We're still in low tier. The reason Griffin Gaming is here is he sort of propagated the Sweet Baby Inc. thing, okay, before it was even big. And he also did a video on Upper Echelon which I tried to watch, but I'm like, it's just bullshit. He's not going to stay there. I mean, he might stay there. Griffin Gaming, who the fuck cares at the end of the day? He's made so many fucking gaffes over the years. Only reason he's in here is for the Upper Echelon. I'm doing a pairing. Upper Echelon.
Okay. I think
you know anything about Griffin Gaming?
No, I've heard the name. You still got us on enough of a comment section.
You're not a big enough of a Stick Boy fan, I guess. We'll get to him.
No, I'm not a Stick Boy fan.
No. Not a Stick Boy fan. Like Starfield. I personally like the game. I can admit the problems and that it was definitely a bad Bethesda game. But I think I personally am a little bit soft because they tried new stuff. They fucked up with a lot of things. The creation engine's always been sort of iffy. I understand the need for it, but at the end of the day, I understand it. I disagree.
When it comes to go ahead.
Upper Echelon's burged out about that also. He does that a lot. Stick Boy didn't. He stuck to his guns there. Your thoughts on that?
Okay. I mean, I don't know much about him, so I know.
I was talking about Starfield. I was wondering if you had.
Starfield. I think Starfield suffers from because I was going to say this. I think Starfield suffers from the same problem that a lot of games happen here lately. They try and make something that already has a better game in the genre, and they market it like it's going to be like that other game. And then it comes out and it's nowhere close. Like they're talking about hundreds of worlds you can go to. What does that sound like, right?
They fucked it up. Okay, they overpromised like Bethesda always does. Yeah, I've seen a few cool things from Ciel. Okay, it seems cool, but he seems like a piece of trash when dealing with anyone who disagrees with him.
I've only seen his Twitter posts, so I haven't looked directly.
Yeah, his videos might be good and entertaining. But when we're talking about this particular thing, it's not about content. It's about how honest we think these people are. This is just our opinion based on what we know about these people. Trent, I know why he's here. I'm going to put him next to. Let me put him between these two guys. Not even the feminine.
You still got us on. You still got us on what's his face's YouTube.
Shit. Okay, sorry. I sort of am looking at the screen I'm messing with. Okay.
Yeah. I get it.
Upper Echelon's there. Griffin Gaming down there. Let's surround the Rosary Warrior Trent. No one probably watches his content, but anyone who's been watching people early on knows his articles. This is what every one of the dipshits fucking read from in the beginning and just ate out of his hands. Like, suck. Let me suck off the Christian guy, even though he's going to probably fucking... if we did this in real life, he would probably judge us and condemn us to hell.
See, I don't know much about this guy either.
His videos are boring as shit. Everything the anti-woke people did for a while until he got part of what I like to call GamerGate versus GodGate. Okay, he of course sided with the fucking GodGaters. He's one of these people I had a special section from, but cut it out. So I'm going to put in mostly wrong for him. Mostly. That's a
so he fell in when Melanie Mack and all those ones started.
He sided with those motherfuckers. I think he is just a brain rot, dyed in the wool dipshit. Okay, good at propaganda. he knew. I don't know if he even knew his articles could, but he definitely took advantage of the fact that all these rising stars, like our next person, Hypnotic, would just read his articles, hype him up, and go with that narrative. Because, Hypnotic, he's going to go there. He's just on this. He's everywhere. I don't even want to go over it. He's a hype man.
I do not.
No opinions of his own.
Hypnotic.
Okay. I think he's just a hype man. He's
He's
in it for the money. He's good at
oh
getting
yeah.
the money. Waifu wars. I've seen him when the Nick stuff came out, which we'll get into later. But pretty much he was just shit talking him all the time. Stuttering Kane
Hmm.
came on. Like, Nick came on our show. He was willing to talk to us. Oh, yeah, it's not that bad. Totally 180 in that instant. I'm like, this guy's pure and utter in it for the money. Okay. I don't
Yeah,
care.
100%.
Or, yeah, I think he's in it for the money or the cloud and I used his hypnotic manga. Anyone wants a laugh? Go to Hypnotic's manga channel. I did it once. He had a top 10 list. You know what he used to get the top 10 list? Sales. Best Shonen Jump. Buy sales. You're missing the fucking point of fucking. Do you not have an opinion? Do you have to use sales to form your fucking opinion, or you try to be objective? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
This.
most cult classics that have existed throughout media did terrible in the theaters. Like think about like the cult classics of my time when they were a kid. God, now I can't think of any names. The Crow didn't do that well in theaters,
Okay.
but is still considered a cult classic. You have uh
Yeah, sales aids and everything. And
sales isn't what makes something good.
okay. I mean, if you want to go
I
with
mean, look at
sales and say you care about the industry, I don't believe Grums. Or he's the last fish here. Okay. Next to
mhm.
last.
If you think sales matter, then you think Minecraft
You're a
movie is the
corporate
best movie
pig.
ever
You
made.
are a corporate pig who only cares about money. I mean, I think some of the people who do the sales crap care about the industry and want to see it, like Stick Boy. For Tagger Play.
Jeremy, I've watched his live streams and I get he's entertaining. His
Yeah.
is a little too much for my ADHD, but
Yeah,
I've
I
seen the
think he's a
guy.
great showman. Okay. I do think he's a
Mhm.
great showman and can keep the energy up. He's a good talker, but there's just nothing behind his little avatar, in my opinion. You can disagree.
He's very good. Yeah.
He's good
He's
at
very good at
talking.
twisting words, and he does a
I
lot of this they stuff that they do. These are the people that are coming for you. These are the guy. I was watching someone he was doing it with that guy. Oh,
he's just
the cowboy
copying
guy.
other people. Okay. He's a great
Yeah.
I think maybe there's something more under the hood and he just thinks he has to do this to keep in the game. But maybe I'm
I think
wrong.
he's
Maybe
one of
we're
the more.
both
I think
wrong
he's one of the
about.
more malicious ones.
Well, he's
Yeah,
definitely more
Hypno is
malicious.
an entertainer. I agree.
He's definitely good. He's definitely a good hype man. Knows how to do a
Hmm.
great live stream talk. Just not much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
He's one of those weird ones. I'll disagree
I've
with
been
him on.
hearing about Fertega recently, but I don't know
Yeah,
who he
I've
is.
been watching him for a while. He had one of my
Hmm.
mortal enemies, out quotes, mortal enemies on one of his streams. No, I'm joking about that. But there was a whole big deal. Again, not the time or place for that. Okay, we get to a good one.
One of
I
my
probably ranked these
favorites.
out. Let me save this guy. Let me save this guy for later. Because he's not a
Okay,
big
that's fair.
player, but he's funny as hell to clown on. Let's do Razor Fist.
Hmm.
I like Razor Fist. He's entertaining as all
Uh,
hell. He has some of the positions I have on certain things, like despite Grums sucking off China all the time, he's like, stop
mhm.
doing this shit. There's several times I see him with good takes, but his allegiance to GodGate just makes me question some things. I just don't know what it
Mhm.
is.
His spurg out when it came to like I think I've watched a couple of his videos. I think he's pretty entertaining,
He's
and
definitely
he
entertaining.
doesn't have bad opinions.
And I
At least
definitely
from what
think
I've
he has,
watched.
even if he didn't groom that girl, I still
Mhm.
think that's questionable. Okay.
Oh
I
yeah,
still,
and the way he spurged out about it was complete. Like here's the thing, I went searching. Like he says he has the proof. He showed the video that he said has all the proof. It's privated. You can't get to it. So how am I supposed to know that that's the truth of the thing? That's where I ran into a problem with him. Uh,
yeah. I mean, also, if you're going to say you have the proof, like Sid Alpha still hasn't fucking done his fucking Grum's video. I almost want to put him down in a mixed bag, but I'm going to have a little good faith with him. It's harder to do with Razor Fist because I don't know what the fuck. I want to agree with him on some things, but I've seen him go totally bad faith Nancy on other stuff. Is it to be with the crowd or because he really should be in this? I don't think that's where he should be. I'm thinking this is the best place for him.
So Kimoji, she said his video is on Twitter. That video is not the video I'm talking about. Back when the allegations first happened, he made a YouTube video that went over everything. I've watched the video on X, and it doesn't prove anything either way.
I think people talk to him behind the scenes. I'm sure there's some backroom deals going on. I can't prove that at all. I've just seen a couple of things, like with the Allison case. If anyone remembers the Folk Farms thing, where the CEO came out and like, yeah, you took me out of context. You completely misrepresent. I saw people telling him to talk to Grum's after he was getting attacked by Grum's fans. It seemed like this weird game. I can't prove anything that he talked to Grum's and like Grum's came to him like, yeah, we'll help you out if you throw this bitch under the bus. Okay, she fucked you over. I can't prove anything. It's just weird. You have several of his little minions attacking him, and then other ones are like, yeah, you should talk to him. He's really reasonable. It's suspicious as all hell there. So it makes me think there. Go on.
Go ahead. Now, I was going to say, like, that's my problem with Razor Fist is like, the problem is I have a very narrow view of him. I've only seen what I've seen through the lens of these allegations that came up about him.
Well, I used to be a bigger fan of him back in the day. Okay. I used to actually be a bigger fan of him. He has a lot of, I didn't know he was so religious that he would side with these guys. So he doesn't seem to have that's why I'm putting him in the mixed bag. I liked him in the past, and him taking this religious angle, because I stopped following him. It just strikes me as really fucking weird. Oh, we're going to get to Ferdinga. Okay. I'll try to go soft on him. I shouldn't go soft on any of these motherfuckers, but likability is going to throw us off, guys. We're not perfect. like Razor Fist, maybe he should be lower on this, but I like him. Or doesn't know enough. But at the end of the day, this is another case with Craig. Okay. I want to put him in sort of right, but recent times, Babs fucking going at him with the Grum stuff and him taking that, him just fucking being like, yeah, he's not trying to soft pedal for Razor Fist, but then doing some content off of that. I think this is where he's going. Okay.
Let's see. I almost want to put him one above. I don't there's probably some clout grab through it, but I think after his comments about Grums and stuff like that, and just some of the things that I see, like, I believe he believes what he's saying. He wasted all the money on the Real Gamer Awards because he thought that was going to be something. He now has made this new his channel plus, I forget what the name of his channel is.
You're right. He is trying to get in a better direction. I do agree with that. I think he's trying to push, and he just doesn't want to anger the status quo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, he's flat out said he doesn't want to anger the status quo. So, and he's just kind of dumb and delusional. Like, I don't know that he's all that intelligent.
Okay, he could also, he's not intelligent. 4Ds. I should have also explained my 4Ds. It's sort of my meme. I don't know where you're at. It's A, dumb, B, dishonest, C, delusional, or D, all of above. That's my 4Ds, if anyone was curious about it. So
and I don't think he's all that dishonest. Like, I want to give him credit for that, to say that he's not a clout goblin, that I think he does have some belief in the back end of it. And I think he's a bad businessman thinking, because I don't think,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Real Gaming
like,
Awards, that was criticized
yeah, the Real
by
Gaming
almost
Awards.
everyone.
Even his new channel that he's doing, this Channel Plus with Kirsch and all of them,
Oh,
uh,
and the fact he's willing
that
to,
that
I understand
that's
it.
never worked in YouTube history, like that I've seen. There's
Yeah.
very few channels that get to move off of YouTube and have people pay for an additional service,
Yeah.
right?
Oh God, you keep making me want to put him down here, but you're right. You're right. Dumb or delusional with this stuff. I mean, I like screw
Telling
attacks,
you.
and back in the day, they've sort of
Mhm.
fallen off when they got corporatized. I did a whole stream
Yeah.
about Rooster Teeth and their fucking fall into stupidity.
Yeah, that
God.
was something.
God.
Oh, I see Jeremy down here. I do agree that Hypno isn't the most in-depth YouTuber, but his content is still fun. So I agree with you here. Like, watching him do Let's Plays is entertaining. Especially, like, I watched his Veilguard stuff, and he's very
Stop,
entertaining with it.
fuckers. Fuck off with the hypno
Uh-huh.
sweeping, okay, or
No,
resin.
he is funny. As an anti-woker myself, his Dragon
Yeah.
Age Veilguard was
Sorry.
funny. Was
I
he right?
I probably would agree if he wasn't so devoid of anything. Okay. Sorry. I probably would
I
agree.
mean, he still belongs in the Clout Goblin. He doesn't do this because he's a gamer. He does this because he wants money. He just is very good at being funny about it sometimes.
Well, I will give you. It's sometimes he's funny about it.
Yeah.
But of course, he did this whole sort of grifter sort of thing on me, and I'm like, what the fuck? You trying to turn me gay, motherfucker? With
No,
grums?
he's an absolute dishonest snake,
Okay.
100%. And he's probably more malicious than any of the other ones. Like, if I had to say who was building some of the narratives around it that they repeat, it's not Smash. Smash is a fucking idiot. It's Hypno.
I don't know about that. Smash, I think goes. I think Smash goes with the instinct. That's going to be an interesting one to go.
Yeah.
Savvy, I think she's woke right. Okay, let's put her down here for now. Let's give.
She's definitely not.
Let's
She's
get
not
her
a clout
between the
chaser.
black man and the Hispanic guy. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're doing
Let's
there.
keep
This
Griffin
is
Gaming and the femboy guy,
mhm.
the black feminine guy. Between these two creeps.
Yeah.
Okay, savvy. I didn't think much about her. Allison was right about her schizo board. Okay, that was a schizo board, and she tried to dodge that. I mean, Allison's a crazy leftist, insane person, but she's right about the fucking schizo board that Savvy put together.
Well, I mean, how can you deny the top top pick for journalist of the year? I mean,
Easily, she still needs Smash JT to promote her. Okay, she's nothing. She's like she fought with Norray. They're very similar, but I think Norray is way more honest with herself, and Savvy's just playing the game. Okay.
Yeah, that I agree with. Her and Savvy are friends, though. Nuray and Savvy are friends. They talk behind the
Didn't
scenes
they?
too.
Oh, do you think maybe their little fight over the censorship was fake?
No, because
Or
I've
they can
talked to
disagree?
Nuray a little bit about that.
Okay.
She has, like, Savvy has some weird things with, like, censorship. Like, I didn't
Okay,
agree with a
I'll
lot of
get
her
her
takes.
out of there. I'll get her
Yeah,
out of there. She might be
yeah.
in it for the money. I'm still not sure where to place her.
I don't know that she's, well, it's hard to say with her, right? Because she has takes that are very milk toast 90% of the time, and then
Yeah,
she'll do something.
really
Then she'll
stupid.
have like a really bad take, right?
Yeah, something that
So
aligns
I
with
agree with
Andy
that.
Pants, as I pointed out in my video on the Real Game Awards. Then
Well,
I
yeah,
give
I
my
don't think
sort of
she's as bad as Andy Pants, but
no.
who
She
is?
she used logic and she didn't just assume. Her logic, I think, was just. I think her
Mhm.
logic's incredibly flawed. So I could be
Yeah,
willing to put her up here. I'm just
yeah.
not
I would
sure.
almost say mostly wrong, but dumb and delusional. It's hard to say. Like she's somewhere in between, likely in it for the money and mostly wrong, but
Okay.
dumb and delusional.
I remember some of these. If I would have printed this out, I might have been able, but I'm lazy. So
That's good. You're good. You're good, brother. Like it's,
okay.
I don't know. She wants to be just a gotcha YouTuber, is what I think she wants to be.
Okay, I can see that. Her and her rays are similar in a
So
lot of ways, but I think she's willing to
yeah,
hide her power level. Why Neray's
she's.
is more honest, even if it's
Mhm,
to her detriment. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's use McDizzle Gaming as a break. Let's go on the JDA. Know much about the man?
Only what I've met around on Twitter. I've heard a lot of different rumors. There's the one going on around
I'm
his
thinking this is where he's going to
legal
go.
trouble.
I think he's
So I almost
absolutely a grifter. He changes his position way too easily. While John Del
yeah.
Arroz, I think, is an ideologue, basically delusional, which is why he
Mhm.
gets his takes, put in literal quotes from the Bible and citing the
Yeah.
fucking bishops and popes in his articles. But I also know about, I found him years ago because I
Mhm.
was really pissed off when I picked up a couple of Hugo Award winning books and they were just dog shit in my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay. That's book 2.
Yeah, I've heard
John
about his book. I've
John
looked at
Del
him.
Arroz played the game. He went to booktube. He has this Christian act that I don't believe, but that's where he fell into. And that's the game
Yeah.
he's playing. Okay. He acts like a delusional ideologue, but he went
It's
in.
that. It's almost that Andy Pants levels. You see where he's gone since
He's
he
not
was
quite as
abandoned
bad as
by.
Andy Pants. He's smarter than
Not
Andy
quite as
Pants, but
bad.
not quite as bad. Andy,
So yeah, I mean, I almost want to put him in the "How did this loser get here?" just because he's so irrelevant.
okay,
But
fine. I'm glad. I'm glad to put him there. Good,
well, you
good,
look at
good.
his channel; he's always been small. Is the fandom whatever it's called his website?
Yeah,
It's
Phantom
AI
Pulse.
trash. Yeah, Fandom Pulse. It's AI trash. Like
Did anyone do
I
an
you
analysis
know
of it? That would have been funny to
yeah
see.
yeah. Maybe that's something I'll go through and read the articles. I don't think most of those articles are written. I know for certain the one that was written on Andy Pants's game is AI. It's not.
Oh
Uh,
God, the article's AI.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
I think the article is AI.
well, Romeo was here earlier. He had a theory about someone doing the same thing in commentary. I
Yeah.
guess you weren't around. You weren't in Chud's audience for that little escapade with Himpleton.
Ooh.
Not that
Oh,
I don't
I
blame you.
watched the Himpleton stuff. I watched the Himpleton stuff go down. I
I
was in
was
there.
in
I
his
got into
Discord, by the
Chud.
way.
Nice. Oh, and Spicy,
Not
the
really.
infamous Spicy chat.
Not really.
So
Okay.
yeah, when I started viewing Chud was around the Mama Max stuff. I found
Yeah.
him. I was watching Diorio make his comeback, and then found Chud from there. So yeah, I've seen the Himpleton stuff. That was a pretty funny
Yeah.
little drama.
I
I
told him
love
not get
those.
involved. I told him not to get involved with the ACC. That's hilarious that he did, or small commentary. There, it's a.
Yeah,
But we're getting off track. We're getting off track.
yeah. It's just
Finally, up on the
that'll be a
talking
conversation for
block.
another day.
Okay. How did this loser get here? Why are we putting him
Oh,
on?
100%. I don't know
No,
why we even
no.
got him on the channel.
I mean his fucking thing with Smash JT hit Smash JT hard. Smash JT went mask
Yeah.
off, full board crazy after that. He's still recovering
Yeah.
from that fucking crash out. They want to cope and say, no, McDizzle broke laws and all this other crap. Yeah, I agree. The ethics of what he did was questionable.
Hmm.
He used the guy's name. I just don't know how he could have gotten around that little detail. He followed,
Yeah.
someone contacted him anonymous uh, through DMs. This is the story I remember. They contacted him saying they were trolling Smash, feeding him false info. McDizzles wanted to verify if this process would have worked in Smash, not realizing how much of a malicious or delusional idiot Smash is. Because if Smash wouldn't have put out that employee's name when he found out he got trolled, it was something he didn't have to do. He could have just said, This McDizzle guy used the name of an employee.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You
was
could just said
that's
that
why
without
where
proof.
I push into Smash is an idiot. And we'll get into that when Smash comes up.
Oh, we're probably
But
going to argue with that, so that'll be
I
fun.
can see the sense in McDizzle saying, "Hey, I'm going to use this guy for credibility. He should easily be able to fact check that, like not just reading the guy's name on LinkedIn, but actually doing something like, hey, I need you to send me ID, I need to send me a work badge, something to prove who you are." uh yeah, it's
I could
understandable
have
how
told
vindictive.
McDizzle
Yeah,
if he would have listened to me. Okay,
yeah.
no one listens to
So
me, even though I'm always right. I'm usually more right than not. Okay.
we'll see about that. We'll see
Well,
about that. So I would
some things won't
say,
ever come out.
yeah. Yeah, you can argue the ethics on what a McDizzle did, 100%.
Yeah.
Did it break the law? I don't know. I read a lot of
No,
fucking
I'm pretty
retards like to
sure
get on
he did
here.
not break any laws with what he did. They were coping with that
Possibly.
bullshit. They and
There
all the groupies came around and actually lied about McDizzle did some stupid lies that from some losers even below this. How did these losers get here?
Yeah.
That's how
I mean, I looked at
insignificant they are.
the laws in Canada on it, and I looked at the law specifically they were trying to use. The problem with that law is it's very open-ended, and it didn't look like there was any case law that was actually
I didn't go
no,
that deep,
this will
but
be
I did
on
the same.
fire. No, he doesn't. He's a nobody. No, yeah, there was not like all these idiots who come on here and go like, "Oh, it's breaking the law. It's breaking the law." You don't know. You have no idea. You're a retard when it comes to reading law. Uh,
Yeah. I sort of want to
so
put him in here because I do have problems with how the definitive edition. I respect the game he plays sometimes. Okay.
mhm.
I respect the game McDizzle plays, but I think he memes a little bit too hard for how he wants to come across. He's a little bit
Yeah.
dorky. I want to put him in sort of right, but mistakes were made. Okay.
Well, like I said, his first video was pretty bad. He's gotten better since then.
But
He's
should we
made
put him in
mistakes
mostly
with
right, but did it like an
um,
idiot?
yeah, I
I'm
mean, I'm gonna glaze a little bit because like the idiot things is where he's made the mistakes with like Smash. His
yeah,
videos have gotten better, and he seems to do really good analysis, especially like following the Alyssa Smash case.
yeah,
But
not
he
something
seems
I'm
to be
willing to
better
go
at
through.
it.
Than
Yeah.
most people. Okay. Well, we'll bump him up. I want to put him down because a lot of mistakes were made. But we'll get him there. Okay. He's
Mm,
no one really too big. Okay. Let's get into Melanie Mac. Okay. Let's keep her away from all these guys. Let me just hold her over here. Oh, she's next to Savvy now. I was trying to hold her over there. She just
well, I
gravitated
mean,
toward her girl, bro, I guess, and the other
yeah.
religious people. John Del Arroz down below. Frankly, that's actually where I'd put her. I've
Mhm.
defended Melanie Mack. People are like, she's just grifting. She's doing this fake Christian thing. I'm like, no, born again Christians are the dumbest people. She had pretty much a husband, was in the E. She had a good life. Her husband has supposedly left her for a gay guy. They got a divorce. I
Ooh.
think she just got hit hard and was like, rock bottom. How am I going to salvage my life? Oh, look, Jesus, born again,
Mhm.
Jesus. I believe she's died in the wool. Uh, the delusional woman, and she's also a woman, so that will,
Yeah.
in my misogynist opinion, put her towards the dumb end of the spectrum biologically.
It's
But
so
I'm probably sexist,
she
so take that with a grain of salt.
one of the first videos I actually did, commentary wise, was on the Melanie Mac crash out uh, with Gamergate, where she was upset about the sexy characters in games and the sexual stuff. Mel Mac gonna
I
meme.
missed this. McDizzle, he did wrong
That
things.
was
Okay. Well, oh,
yeah, that was when
previously,
it
I'm
was at
back.
the bottom.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
hmm
Yeah,
I believe she believes what she's talking about, though, and then I think she tries to stay relevant by saying slurs, because she knows, like I think she has enough audience that like Twitch isn't gonna like perma ban her, or she rides the
True,
line
true,
so
true.
close that she gets those couple days
Yeah,
ban. And it's they play that game, you know, it's the Twitch streamers who play that game of, oh, I get banned for a day or two, and I come back with more growth than I was before.
son. Sorry, a sneeze.
Kershay.
You can bring her up, son.
Ratatardi. I don't remember how to pronounce her name, but I think she
Rat-a-tat-tat,
did.
bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, Ratatardi is what I
I
like
don't
to
even know
call
who
her.
you're talking about. So there's a
No,
lot of
it
people
was
who play
the
that game, play it up.
yeah.
The victim points, they're out to get me. It's a good narrative, but
Yeah.
no,
So,
they
but
want money. Yeah, as I said, I've defended
So
Melanie Mack not on the basis I think she's right at all, that she has this worldview and she believes it.
yeah.
Seeing her
Well, I
spurg
told
out.
her. I think my take on it was like, what did she expect for the GamerGaters? Right? She knew what these guys were constantly talking goon talk, and knowing that I believed that she's born again Christian and stuff like that. When it went too far for her, like I was like, well, you lit the firecracker and put it in your hands, and you didn't expect it to hurt when it went off. you know.
Well, she had the support of the quartering also. Someone I was tempted
Well,
to put in this, but he's not really in the Gamergate 2. He's just sort of
no, he's
it's sort of like a side thing for him. He'll
yeah.
occasionally take the takes, but he's not willing to take the dive into his own piss that he pisses into a pool in his basement. But he's not on the list, so let's not get too far into that man. He's definitely culture war adjacent, but he's all over the place. Needs to make that content, shit out that content. Sometimes the content he shits out is good, but most of the time it's stupid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's the end
Well,
of
he's got to pay for that coffee machine, right?
Yeah, probably. Failed coffee company.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more on Melanie Mack? I mean, she's been memed to death as it been brought up.
Yeah.
She is a living.
She's pretty easy
joke.
to place. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is like, you don't even like bat an eye when she gets banned for saying a slur, because it's just so common. You know what she's going to say when you see her video on X, so why even bother clicking it?
Yeah. Again, I don't think she's a grifter. I think she's just a dumb born again Christian. I know. Mean. I am mean. Okay, let's get to Stick Boy. Then we get to. I think this is a good place to go in on Andy here, or a Dumium, as I like to call him. So, Stick Boy. His work on Sun Grand Studio was awesome. Okay, beautiful bean footage stuff. Okay, let's put him in mixed bag for now. Let him be.
I see.
Razor Fist and Norray. It's a good mix. That actually is a good representation of him. He might get moved. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but I know a lot of people. Like, I'm pretty sure Kamoji told me that I should look at him in a kind of more positive light. Watch him. There's a couple other people saying that I should talk with him more or stuff like that. His tweets, I haven't watched a lot of his videos, but from his tweets, he rides more on the gaming side of it than he does on the woke and anti-woke. Like he occasionally goes
He's
after
part of the
anti-woke,
console war shit. Okay, I don't know how he got involved.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a console culture warrior. Okay, going in on Nintendo, making Sun Grand Studio cry and do gay ass weird ass stuff. I'm glad about that. Sun Grand Studio, I didn't really pay attention to him, but that was some funny shit. And the dude, what came out about him, I don't even know what to say. But outside of Stick Boy,
some of that stuff.
There's a couple of things of Stick Boy. I disagreed with him when he said that's against the law for the guy who was obviously making a joke about, I'm going to do portfolios for POC and blah, blah, blah. I want to make myself, irrelevant so I can go live out in the woods. And the drug addict of Stick Boy went with the narrative that, that's illegal. I'm like, no, that's individual choice, motherfucker. If he's doing it on his own time. There was people who came at me like, if he's saying this online, I'm like, yeah, I don't care if you think he's phrasing this as a joke to get away with it or not. Legally,
Mhm.
that's what matters. And they like to use anyone who uses jokes as proof of something, which we're going to get into, I'm sure, with Smash, doesn't have my respect. Okay. That's what I hated about the left. Okay. Leftists before. They took so many things joke wise. I did the research. Fucking, they pretty much. Do you know about pre-GamerGate stuff? War.
A little bit of it. I was more of a normie back then, so I watched YouTube stuff on it and things
You
like
can
that, but I
always do
wasn't.
research, man. Backtrack.
Oh,
That's
I've
what I
looked
did.
into. Well,
Look,
so I'll have to read the book on Gamergate, but looking for videos of the full history of Gamergate and all that stuff, it's hard. Like there's not a lot of stuff out there. I found a lefty who did her take on it, and it seemed pretty
probably terrible.
fair. No, actually, it was fairly fair because I expected to go in with a misandrous take, we'll say, and she was pretty fair on some
Who was
things.
this?
Oh, God, I don't remember her name. I'll have to look through
Dead
my backlog
Domain.
and see.
That's a
Maybe
that's a trans. You just
is she?
you're not very
I
anti-woke
got.
if you are talking about Dead Domain. I mean,
I don't know if it was Dead Domain.
I use people's preferred pronouns. Except for when they act, I still will even do it when they act like an ass, but I'll use it more
Well,
ironically. Okay.
yeah.
I'll use it's
Mm,
ma'am
Um,
occasionally.
yeah, it might have been Dead Domain's video that I
Okay.
watched.
Yeah.
I didn't
She still
realize they were
swept for
trans.
Brianna. I think she admitted it to a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of things, but still swept for Anita and more Zoe Quinn a little bit harder than I would have liked.
Yeah,
I
there
also
there
watched
was
that
like a
video.
comment she
Yeah.
mentioned about like not Zoe. What were the three of them? Anita. That one of her big things was like Anita would have never gotten popular if the GamerGaters hadn't blown her up. And I don't think I agree with that. She was as other, topics like what she was saying was going on, Anita would have eventually been pulled up for doing it. She was writing the articles, she was making the games about how sexist gamers were. So didn't agree with her there. But some of it was
Yeah, I
fairer than
agree.
I would have thought I got
I
from a
don't like
lefty.
agreeing
So
with wokies or the
yeah,
far leftists, but when they make a good point and they seem like they're trying to be fair, you got to give them brownie points for that. Okay. They won't have any
every now and
incentive to
again.
change if you're completely bad faith. Try to bring them over. Okay.
Oh,
They're
apparently
not
Dead
going to
Domain
fucking probably
follows me.
talk to either one of us dipshits, but
Yeah.
they,
So
you got to
apparently Dead
take
Domain follows me.
what? Okay.
Yeah,
Weird.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Well, I mean, when you yell at the anti-woke, I probably have a fairly lefty audience with a lot of them. Some of the guys you've talked to in my chat, they're fairly lefty, but
Uh,
uh,
I'm
but they
trying to reach
tend
out
to
to.
be more. Yeah.
I pretty much burned all my bridges with anti woke over my fucking efforts, but I usually do that, and I'm in this for the research and the the attempt to reach across the aisle. Like I don't care if you're leftist, rightist. I'll talk to you. If you annoy me, I'll probably fucking crack on you, either side, even if you're in the center. You cross a certain line or give me shit, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah.
I'll try to be fair
Uh,
about it. Ba, ba,
that's fair.
ba.
That's fair.
No, it's
I
not.
just like to talk
I'm
about
just saying
shitters
it's
on the
fair.
internet.
Yeah, that's always good. You come from the Chud.
Uh,
Wow. I'd like Chud a little bit before you, but let's not get into that.
that's true. That's true. You were probably into were you far enough back when he was still in the Twitch poll groups?
No, I actually hated him when he was in Twitch poll. I thought he was annoying
Yeah.
twat. Okay. I had like
Hmm.
counterpoints back then. But then he got all
Oof.
weird and did his 40K stuff, and I fell off. Now he's back in politics, teamed up with Brianna Wu. I don't know if he's still with her, but that was weird. Let's not
Chud,
get too
or are you
far off
talking
that.
about?
Counterpoints. Okay.
Oh,
I think
counterpoints. I didn't
Chud's
know she did
biggest
Warhammer
problem is
40K
being too
stuff.
nice to queen men. Like I have problems with Tommy C. I have problems with Tommy C, but I think he's on point. I'm actually going to bring that up next.
That's
Let's make
good.
fun of
Let's get
Indy
back
real.
here because this is one of my. I was kind of an indie fan in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Give us your thoughts on it.
Uh,
I'm putting him
I
here
think
because I
he
think that's
is.
where he falls. Go.
Where did you put him? Oh, actually, yeah. I mean,
You're thinking the same.
he. I you start. So what kind of pulled me into the Twitter stuff? Actually, part of it was Endymion. Like as stuff, there was obviously a lot of cases that were very woke that I would have been for. Shame for Kiershi being put on a tier list. Shame, shame,
Yeah,
shame.
yeah. He's been on before. Extremely
Yeah.
anti-woke. We fight all the time on
Uh,
X and in DMs. Good sport about
hate
it.
to, yeah.
I think he's a good
uh,
sport.
yeah, you never know. It's not important though
You
if he
never
isn't.
know. He could
If he
be
is, it's
mask
good.
on, mask off, man. But go on.
But so with indie, like I was a fan of indies, but then I started it's kind of a normie. I started looking a little bit deeper into stuff. Like I was actually going to when indie got into it with that CEO of one of the games. I was on
Oh,
indie
Black
side with
Girls
that.
Gamer.
No, not Black Girls Gamer. It was a male CEO. I forget from which company. It was towards I want to say
Vavra?
October.
Daniel Valvra?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Oh, even
I was still
Rev said Desu got shamed by that man. I like
yeah.
that. I agree. He's a complete asshole. Daniel Valbra, completely
Hmm.
unapologetic asshole. But I can respect that. Okay. I think
So
there
I
was
was
some things.
actually going
Go on.
to make a Twitter versus with the intent of the gaming industry.
Good to
So
know. Clean up, clean up.
I started building a Twitter versus on indie side. Uh,
Oh,
and
that
and
might be
then
good
just the more I
content.
started reading into things, yeah. And the more I started to read into it and started thinking about content creation and started looking deeper, the just more and more dishonest I saw Endymion as being. So it's like I'm now an anti fan. I think one the guy has no idea about gaming. Watching some of his videos on GTA 6, I watched the other day while playing some Skyrim or some Oblivion. He just has no fucking idea what he's talking about. He just says shit to say shit. He never puts any evidence up on the screen, which there's another guy on this list that does the same thing. He never, and then he just has dog shit takes. Like it's, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, how was I ever dumb enough to listen to this retard? So yeah, I think he's just in it for the clout. Even if he's not in it for the clout, he's so bad he should be in that place.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Who
argue
is the
there. I rarely,
first girl in
I
the?
think
Oh,
the
go ahead.
Twitterverse is the perfect place for him. This list, you get to stay
Hmm.
there. I have no respect for that man. You should look up some of the times he got called out by other people, like our next person, the Act Man. I'm
Yeah,
very
I've
mixed on him.
seen.
I'm putting him there for now. Okay, I'll get into
Yeah,
reasons. Give me your thoughts on the Act Man. Know him, love him, hate him. What are
let
your
me say,
those sort of things?
Christopher asked who is the first girl in the mixed bag.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Nero.
Nora A's. She was
That's
one of
Nero.
she's one of the small fries who sort of
I was gonna simp for her, but I got told she has a boyfriend. So
yeah, by Indy. She fought with
by
Indy, so
Indy,
it's very
yeah.
relevant or
The
Indomian, whatever you want to
I
call
have
him.
so many problems with the Act Man.
Oh,
Uh,
please go on.
I mean, it's almost in the same lane as Indy. Like when he talks about gaming, he doesn't have great opinions. If anything, his opinions are usually the most. Nere uh, is the name of the person. Sorry, got distracted. ADHD. Uh,
Don't we
it's
all?
like the most toast takes, right? He's a super fan of certain games in a lot of ways. When he does talk about the more woke side of things. He doesn't really have anything like it's anybody could have the take that he has, right? He doesn't go very deep into it. And then I've had a problem with some of his coverage where he has been very positive about games that he received money for.
Payout 3. I
Yeah.
talked to someone who still holds that against him. And I
Mhm.
am suspicious of that, but when he came clean about that, it made sense, but it's a little bitch bait.
Mhm.
There's also the shit around the commentary shit when he got banned for jokingly with his quantum TV stuff, which I think you're too new to it. He got into
No,
it with
I was watching the
okay.
yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, the whole
I
Tommy C
sided with
stuff.
him mostly in that quantum TV stuff. Was Tommy involved in it? I can't remember.
He trolled him
Uh,
with like some people and fucking Ackman
gotcha.
freaked out. Why it's relevant is later on, the Ackman came on and talked after some drama with Heels versus Babyface, which I was playing with. But Heels versus
I remember
Babyface
that too.
really doesn't, besides the pronouns, really doesn't go too deep into the actual Gamergate 2 crap. He has his own little space that has a
Yeah.
good
Well, I think he's
intersection.
just a guy. Yeah, he just
Yeah,
plays.
yeah, we put Kirsten Grifter, didn't we? Sorry, I might be off a bit.
Um.
Yep,
We put her in the grifter tier.
yep.
It fits. She's a grifter.
She might be just dumb or delusional and mostly wrong, but I think given
I don't think
her
so. I've heard her
nature,
takes.
I think she's a dumb grifter in a lot of ways, but takes
Mhm.
advantage of shit. I do think most of the grifters are dumb.
Yeah,
Hypnotic,
she
I
just
don't think
says
he's a
lines.
I do not think Hypnotic is a dumb grifter. So I don't. Yeah, I think
I
all these
think
people are
him not
dumb.
very much.
If it was a rank of dumb, I think she might be smarter than Rev, but Indy is of course
Mhm.
bottom of the barrel intelligent wise.
Yeah,
Just to clarify,
100%.
Hypnotic's definitely the smartest one out of them and the
Ooh,
most
see, I like this. We're
entertaining,
getting
which
into it.
Rev
When
is
has she
boring.
ever been wrong? So let's see. Pretty much every political take she has is just a repeated political take that she has heard. When she talked about
Don't
the
don't let Lucifer
no, no,
troll you too much. I know he has a
I'm
ridge,
gonna get
but
it.
I know he has a ridge, but you shouldn't
I
expect
like
much
going
from him.
after this guy as his. If you want to just point one out, when she talked about the mosque that she was supposedly canceled for, which didn't happen, she has no idea what was going on in there. In fact, she was wrong that there were no Muslims up in that northern area. In fact, all of Britain is having a problem with Muslims in the area. So
Just gonna
just on that, she was
gravitate
wrong,
towards
basically.
the not grifter points, the talking points. Sorry,
Well,
not
yeah,
grifter
that's my
points.
thing. She doesn't look any deeper than an edgy talking point to get her crowd to clap like seals. That's my point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I can't
yeah.
disagree with that. I would have put her into
Mhm,
mostly wrong, dumb or delusional, maybe.
mhm.
I wanted to put her down here, but look at
No,
all
I
those
wouldn't put her
guys.
down there. She's definitely more relevant than the people who like most of those people I don't know about. And then there's JDA.
Yep.
Okay, I hear that. That's right, Lucifer. You'll learn that I'm generally right.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. War. What is he good for? Some things. Some things.
Some things, some
Okay.
things.
Okay. Where were we
Now we're
now?
getting into one of my favorites.
Oh. It's
We've just done
everyone's
Indy.
favorite. It's everyone's favorite. I mean, no matter where we put him on the list, you got to admit the man
Mhm.
is a is exceptional for all the wrong reasons. So let's be nice and put him in.
He's
Did nothing wrong for now because
did
he
nothing
acts like
wrong.
he's
He
done
is
nothing wrong. He at least acts
yeah.
like it. Okay, he acts like
But
he's done.
where I found Andy Pants is actually my first ban on X. Uh,
What? Your
I
first
yeah,
ban?
not yeah, he was the first person to ban me on X. Uh,
Yes. John
it
Del
was
Arroz is.
yeah, is a terrible person.
Yep.
I mean, I learned about him the same time most people learned about him, and that was the Act Man thing. He was pretty irrelevant up until that point, and then he got a following off of it of people through it. The guy is. We were talking about Indy not showing any proof or not doing anything, just saying stuff. That's exactly what Andy Pants does. You saw last night when we were watching his videos on his his video game, which I'm considering buying and playing. I don't think I can
Make
play it
sure
on
you
stream
don't talk
though.
about possibly pirating, though. I saw someone just suggest.
I won't.
I heard people are gonna put it on Pirate Bay or something. So wait until then. And one of his fans came in.
Well,
Uh, did you just advocate for piracy? I'm like, did you just report that guy?
yeah, that
I
doesn't.
know you
I
might have
mean,
saw that because I shared that with you, but for
yeah,
the
yeah,
audience, bitch made fans least probably something like he privated the video. And then even Jeremy Griggs of Geeks First Gamers, like, dude, I don't like the Act Man at all. But that's just fucked up.
yeah, yeah.
Go on.
I mean, it was bad takes are out there. The only thing Andy Pants does is say gay, black, lesbian, woke. That's pretty much all of it. If you want to know anything about his videos that you want to have, which the video is hilarious to watch the first time. I I like me
Cringe.
some edgy racial jokes and stuff like that.
Oh, 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 oh.
uh but what makes it cringe is when you start to find out this guy actually believes a lot of this stuff, or at least puts out the persona that he believes it. But I
So
also
you
think he's
do you think
gay.
he's a dyed in the wool? I think he's just a grifter. Okay, I think he was grifting with his previous Christian stuff. I mean, he might have that bend, but you're thinking he's dyed in the wool. I'm trying
Yeah,
to figure
I
out
think he's died in. Well, I think he if he falls under anything for me, it's Westboro Baptist Church.
So you don't think he's just putting on this act like he was an Xbox fanboy before? You think he's just
No, because he didn't get success really until after the Act Man. He had a little bit from it. He was probably doing better than he was with his Xbox stuff, but it
he
wasn't
got the
until the Act Man called
again,
him out.
like a lot of these people, he got the Asmongold bump.
Yeah.
Let's go over the Asmongold bump. Durays. Even Cabrutus got a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
Ackman
Cabrera's
even
definitely
got a
did.
little piece of that. Do. Melanie, I don't know. Indy, I think. Kirsch, definitely. Rev, as you said,
Rev's whole
Rev
career is
farmed
based off of being.
clout off of Asmongold, as you
Mhm.
said. That's probably what turned him from the lowly defense force to making content to cater to Asmongold, as your theory
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, that's my theory. Is that's his life now. Is just
It's a
making
fine
making
theory.
videos for Asmongold to watch,
Hmm.
which will in turn bring people to watch his, I suppose. But
Yeah, that's all good in the hood, man. Andy
and then there was the
Pants.
copyright. Oh yeah, the copyright strike. I forgot that part of the Andy
Yeah.
Pants thing. That's such a. I mean, in most of YouTube, from what I've watched, copyright striking is just straight up the
Disavow. It's
a
something
yeah
YouTubers aren't supposed to do. You get a
yeah
bad stain on your
yeah
soul, that
even the
your
worst of the
YouTube
worst.
soul.
Well, you saw he changed that pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He backpedaled. He also
So,
he did debates for a while. I actually know someone who was in one of his Discord debates where he owned them, but he didn't really. Someone I
yeah. Well, you see, he stopped debating people.
Yep, he got the high clout. He's just totally memeing it up. I
Mhm.
still think he's in it for the money or clout, but I'll leave him there. He's
I
delusional
don't
in at least
disagree with you
one
on that.
way.
Yeah.
He's definitely
Well,
delusional in some.
I think he's it's like a both, right? It's somewhere in between. He has gotten to the point that I think he genuinely believes some of these things he says, even though he has said
Yep.
the opposite on camera. But at the same time, he's a master debater. Yeah, he is. He's one of the
Oh,
best.
nice.
I've seen him flat out say, "Didn't I own that guy?" And then you realize, no, he blocked that guy after that guy said something he didn't like.
Yeah.
And then he'll talk shit about you after he's blocked you. But
Yep.
yeah, there's a part of me like I think he's just like a Westboro Baptist Church person, that they're so delusional Christian that they believe this
I
weird
think he's definitely
idea of
more malicious than Melanie Mac, though. Okay.
yeah,
Melanie Mac,
100%,
I think, is
100%.
just a complete airhead who fallen into the trap.
Yeah,
Not quite
yeah,
as
yeah.
bad as the Weeb Squad, but I don't know. Maybe these
Yeah.
comparable. I'm trying to order this in the correct way, the most delusional or
Mhm.
not. Savvy can be the least delusional, okay? Or Craig, I don't know.
Craig,
Which one
I
would you
don't think
say? Which one is
yeah.
more delusional or dumb between these two?
I would
Just trying
say Savvy's probably less delusional. It's hard
than
to say
Craig or dumb?
than Craig, because Craig is delusional in the fact that he's a dick rider, right?
Yeah, that's
He's
why I wanted to
he's
put
got
him
that
in the
idea that
12.
you should yeah.
But you talked me out of it because he does show some improvement. I agree with that. And he
Right.
did
Yeah,
seem to
there's
be
something in there.
trying to be honest when he can get away
Mhm.
with it. A
Well, I think
little
he's
off.
like I don't think he made the real game awards because he was trying to grift it for money. I think he did it genuinely because he believes that those gaming things were bad, but it was
They
so
are,
badly
by the
ran.
way, but they're
I agree,
marketing
100%.
becoming the things you hate, but even worse is
Mhm.
even worse, in my opinion. You had
Yeah,
to know it
paid
would have turned
voters
that way. Fucking hell.
is all I gotta say.
I don't even
But
know.
so yeah. So who's the next guy? I don't know this guy.
Oh, Mighty Keith, I had to get some representation.
Oh, Mighty Keith.
He did nothing wrong. He's just a commute. No, he's a little bit of a
No.
retard. I think he's more honest than some. He did this, he
Mhm.
got called out by Grums for saying, oh, fake assassination. I do not blame anyone for believing at first that it was a fake assassination attempt. I think it was practically a miracle that fucking Trump. I'm not going to say anything about politics. I think it's a miracle, but I think the proof is there that it wasn't a fake assassination attempt. Someone really tried to go after him. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's also a jackass.
So
Okay,
he's
I
yeah, I've
think
seen him arguing with them.
I'm I want to put him higher, but I've seen some other stuff. Maybe I'm mistaken him, and maybe that's why I'm putting him in the mixed bag. But if you don't know much about him, I just needed some woke so called. I don't think he's woke. He's just black and relatively liberal. And he sees the shit these people do, like a lot of people, and he thinks it's racism. And why I don't think explicitly what the anti woke does is racism. I believe a lot of the stupid high tier anti woke people come off as really racist. I don't know if they
Yeah.
have racism in their heart, but it's definitely promoting this shit. Definitely, they're opening races into their ranks. Why?
Well, he seems like one of those guys I've seen on Twitter that would talk about microtransactions and bullshit like that. Like you're racist just by having microaggressions. That's what it is. I used to think
Yeah.
Craig was genuine with the Real Game Awards, but after his crash out with Soloco and Nightmare Cart, I realized he's just another retard. I think that's what he suffers from. Craig suffers from retardation. he
Possibly.
he genuinely had that and so like and I'll think about this. You didn't put him on here, but Will of the Fans, I think at one point
Yeah,
was
that's an
genuine.
insignificant. I think he's malicious. Okay.
Yeah,
You think he's dumb?
he's retarded.
You
I've
just,
sparred with the guy several times. I just think
yeah,
he's just a mouthpiece for Smash JT. The first
of course,
impression I got it
the
from him,
sucking of Smash JT's dick. I'm surprised any of these people
yeah,
are anti woke with how gay they get. Again,
yeah.
hypnotic. His whole trying to turn people gay for Grums just because they have criticism of the fucker. But
Well,
we'll get to that.
the reason I say Will of the Fans, I think believes this what he's talking about is he is he's gone nowhere, and it's because he's boring. I've watched it. I made one of my second
Yeah,
video
I
I ever
couldn't
made.
do
My
it.
first
I
video on an
tried.
anti-woker.
Same thing with Ryan.
Yeah,
Okay. Actually, Ryan is
yeah,
less boring, but more dumb from what I've seen, from what I could
yeah,
tolerate. But let's
yeah,
not
yeah. I could
focus
see
too
that.
much on them. And the Mighty Keith, I think he's a general retard. He
Yeah,
sometimes is funny. Some of his skits are good. Some of them are, most of them are cringe, even when they're good. But I think that's the intent.
he's
You
a
know?
guy that we probably wouldn't have. Me and him would probably butt heads over some of his arguments. I feel like so.
Yeah, probably. Like I
Mhm.
was tempted to put the Birdman on, but then I would have to put fucking Atreus on to counter him. That seems like a waste of time. Atreus,
I
I
like
think is a
Atreus.
cool guy, but I think he's just says whatever. I think
Yeah,
he would be. He's in it for the money and cloud, and I think he's more honest about it than any of these other motherfuckers. That's the thing about him.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Well, it's like there is some belief in what he's talking about
Yeah,
that he
there
has,
is
but he
some.
does admit that he's doing it for money.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna
Uh,
do it for money, don't play these games like fucking Hypnotic and other dipshits and play the stupid game.
yeah.
That's the only saving grace of Atreus is he's more
Well,
honest than anyone else about his dishonesty, and he's doing it for the money. About it.
yeah. Well, and also I'll give Atreus credit. He has like when it came to the Smash, he was very light on his criticism of Smash during that event,
Which
but
is
he was the
fair.
only
Friend
anti-woker that said
association.
anything negative. Yeah. And then he was, during that whole spat, he was the only anti-woker that brought McDizzle on.
Yeah.
I think
Give
it
him
was
a
kind of a
fair
weak
hearing.
conversation between both of them. I think Dizzle could have gone harder on it,
Mm,
but I always think that.
I
So
tried to watch it. I just sort of tuned out. I'm like, okay, it's good.
it was just kind of little light on each other, I would have to say.
Yeah,
But
let them
now
aren't
we
that
get
aggressive.
to the largest political quote unquote streamer on Twitch.
Okay. I don't even know where to put this man. I think he's honest about it. His political takes are complete trash because he's outside his zone. Okay. He just
So
I think, yeah.
you
Nope.
can't say it's likely for money or clout. The dude is fuck
No,
you money rich, right?
I still think he just does it. Maybe you're right. I don't think he fits any of these motherfucking categories. You're right. I don't think
True.
he needs the money or clout. I think he just does it
Well,
because he's used to it. It's just a habit. He's just
yeah.
he's totally audience capture and it's too brain
Yes.
dead.
Yes.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
could see
you
him
can
being
put him
here.
in the clout. I could see him being there because he's delusional, but he's delusional in the way that, like, you can't say it's necessarily clout because he's just being,
And sometimes
like you
he
said,
has a
audience
good
captured.
take. And sometimes he has a
He
good take.
does.
Okay.
He does
He's just
sometimes have a
all
good
over the
take.
place. Maybe this is the best place for him. He deserves to be in
Mixed.
all these. I don't want to focus on him too much because he's like just the kingmaker of these retards. Andy Pants. All these
Hmm.
people got clout off of him. You get on Asmongold stream and you're gonna get his audience on his side.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you look at all the streamers that have made it. Like who is it? Liquid Drops or whatever his name is. Uh, who got famous? I watched him get famous on an Andy Pants stream. Spider-Man community racism. Oh, I'm gonna look into that. Sorry. um,
What?
Liquid. I don't remember his name. Dickers is doing something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
tried
just happened to
watching him
click it up
earlier.
looking
The
for.
bitch had his subscriber mode. I'm not subscribing to that bitch.
I like Dickers, but
You can
I
like
like a lot of those.
someone, but not
Mhm.
think they're very smart.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Okay, that's probably
Uh,
Dickers. Again, he called me a
Dickers is
pedophile when
elite.
he called me a pedophile when I asked him, why do you think calling people why do you think calling people a pedophile is funny? And he just called me a pedophile. It's like reductive.
Yeah, I mean,
It makes sense.
it was a little funny though.
Not really.
I don't remember the person. I've seen a lot of people get their Their clout from Asmongold, though, to get
Yeah.
back on the subject.
I mean, I want to put him in other areas, but he does fit this mixed bag. Okay. This mixed
Well,
bag
it's like
category.
he makes so many takes that he has to be right sometimes, and you go with that. Like I've say it over and over and over again. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day, but I still wouldn't use it to tell time.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how I feel about Asmongold.
Yeah.
And now he's not an anti-woker; he's a political streamer.
Oh God, even and just because Hassan is bad and he's fighting with Asman, that doesn't. Two things can be bad at the same time for different reasons. Your own
Yeah,
particular opinion. Frankly, the only thing I'll say about Hassan is I actually think he believes. I don't think he actually believes what he says he believes. I think he thinks he believes he should believe the things he thinks. What about? Let's not get into that. Sorry.
yeah, that's a whole
Sorry,
different
sorry,
thing.
sorry.
I'm so tired of that whole
Yeah, I
debate.
am.
With everyone.
Yeah, blame this dipshit because I watched one of his streams because he's too lazy to make a fucking video putting his thoughts out. You have to go through Twitter or his limited streams for that shit. Okay. Okay, let's just move on. I don't want to. Nick. Nick is a weird one to pick. He did nothing wrong, guys. Nothing wrong. Case over. You can't argue with me, War. You know nothing. No, I'm joking. Okay, let's get into Nick. You don't know much about it. I went over that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I approved of his investigation when I first found it. Okay. I found it interesting. I might be a little bit biased towards him because Yahtzee's my man. About one of the only people I would say I'm a fan of on YouTube anymore. There's a couple of other people. Yahtzee's about the only one who hasn't let me down. Plus, the dude writes some interesting books where sometimes they're bad, but always interested. I have a bias towards Nick because of that. And so
he's one I'll look more into, but he's probably one of the ones that I'm least familiar with. At least everyone else on this list, I've heard their name or
he's
seen
out of the
something of
game.
theirs.
He's smart.
Yeah.
I think he's fairly smart, but he's also naive as shit, in my opinion, especially with he should have just stuck to the investigation. He got sidetracked by the retard Giga Bear Panda. And he got trolled by him. Okay. Yeah, I have a tweet where I when I was diving into his past Giga Bear Panda, because only I would dig into that man's past before all the shit hit the fan. And that's a doozy. I have a whole stream on it. Again, plug if you want to know more about that. There's some crap in there, but you got to put up with some crap to get some gold sometimes. Something you learn in commentary. I even have a part 1 of the Nick saga. I've just got no views. I have no motivation to go back and make a part 2. Sorry enough. But he got trolled by Giga Bear Panda. Asmongold also went over his investigation on X and sort of said, I don't think Ember 8 is a scam. He's not proof. And he just gave up halfway. He's a quitter.
Yeah.
Sort of lightly swept for Grums in the beginning with the Ember 8 stuff. But let's not get too far. Then when Grums did his whole Nick doxed me crap, that's when shit came down on him. And I think his mother was sick at the time. So he was probably because Smash, which we'll get to, fucking tried to imply that he was using his mother's health as an excuse to avoid criticism. We'll get into the Smash stuff. But yeah, let's say that definitely just put him off the rail. And of course, the whole Smash squad came to his defense. There was that 8-bit Eric thing. I might need to get back into this. But you don't know much about
Eric.
Yeah. Too bad Miss Sparkles isn't around. I think she's streaming. She's an interesting one. But there, since you don't know anything about
Kimoji
it,
just made a good point. Ember, what is Ember? It's the
oh
untitled net
yeah,
game now.
good point. I still call it the game formerly titled Ember, like
The game
Prince did.
formerly known
Okay,
as.
he should have
Yeah.
a symbol for it. Grums, if he ever puts out a game, which I'm in doubt of, he should make it a symbol instead of actual name. Okay, I know I had it in here. Let's bring this up since you don't know much about. Here's the original post, which Nick got pissed off about. Published a fake story because it made someone he doesn't like look bad. That's Crumbs, and he didn't publish a fucking story. He wrote a tweet about it. Smash, smash, smash. A tweet
Oh, yeah.
is
I mean, that's
not.
the typical lies, right?
Yeah, it's lie. It's lie by degrees. It wasn't a fucking story. He was trolled by fucking. He reported on it and he was being trolled, and they were like, "Oh, you got tricked. The name that the guy used was an anagram for Uranus, all that stuff." And I have on this correct screen. Do I have any more on this, or am I going to have to give it up? Yeah, I went over this earlier. A little bit of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smash.
Unbelievable.
This was before 8-Bit Eric did this thing. He was just calling you creepy. Okay. That guy, 8-Bit Eric. Not worth talking about, but and Smash tagged Yahtzee Croshaw to try to get this guy pretty much canned. That's what they were going for. Okay. And here's
Wow.
Giga Bear Panda, the crazy stalker cess person. This wouldn't be much on its own, but look, Smash JT again. Second win, has no one to blame themselves for this spiral. Why? Because he was doing a reporting. He made mistakes and spiraled out. My video going over Smash trying to cancel Nick after Grums tried to get all that shit. That's just despicable. And I don't call a lot of things despicable. You have to get pretty fuck. This is when I really just was like, fuck these guys. It's not
Well,
even
these
a
dudes
bias
are like
towards Nick.
they cry cancel culture, but they're constantly the ones trying to do cancel culture on other people,
Yeah.
right?
They are the same thing as
So
they're becoming what they hate. Okay. So yeah, that definitely was fucked up. There's plenty out there on there. Let me put it back. He didn't do it. He did plenty of stuff wrong. I just don't know if mostly right. I don't think you're going to be able to help me. I think he
this is
actually
going to be
needs
your
to go
pick.
down there. Yeah, sort of right, but made mistakes. Okay. I don't think he should have I don't know. I don't think he should have gone as far. Again, this is one of these things where I understand the mental state he was in this time and why he went so crazy because of all the factors around. He came to terms with it. He pulled back. Then there was the other Frost thing, which was bullshit in my opinion. And even if other Frost was more of a lefty than anyone else, like other Frost used the fact that Nick was helping out. Remember Kingdom Come Deliverance? All that shit. He helped
I
produce
remember all
a
that.
documentary. And Nick actually fought. I don't know if his motives were ethical or if it was for money, as fucking other Frost claimed. But he did a documentary despite people trying to cancel Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I don't know where to place him. Just because of that, I want to put him up one, and I will because you don't know anything. He probably deserves to be down here, but just for the audience,
I'll make a
my
retraction
bias goes
statement if
there.
I learn about him later.
I'm not gonna
Not gonna
lie. I
lie.
regret exposing myself to the rabbit hole of GamerGate 2. All of us are. Seeking drama is addictive. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it is.
So
Truly.
I love low tier drama, obviously with the people who I watch, but you add a tinge of gaming to it, and I just can't get enough.
I also used to be a satirist. Okay, I used to make shit posts, occasionally having a bigger take than that. But I used to make just shitty ass videos trying to make fun of things, wokeness, like SJWs, sometimes even the right wing. I had one thing about the Epoch Times, like cut it out because they had these ads on and they were really fucking cringe. So it was just basically anything cringe, political or even in commentary. And
Yeah.
it pulls you once you start going down. I use the excuse that my digital communication degree to try to understand the internet. That's my excuse. I'm doing research. But what am I going to do with all my research? Probably nothing. Okay. Personal satisfaction, maybe.
Yeah, right. Well, if I find it interesting, I'll usually watch it on stream, or at least that's my plan around
Yeah.
this channel.
And as I said, I was right about a lot of people. Jon Del Arroz, I'm like, this guy's a dyed and roll, basically a religious SJW that came out. Grums is a unethical bitch, which I guess I'll wait for that. But yeah, okay. Big wig, smash JT. Let me take a certain
arguably
section.
the leader of the pack for most of them.
I don't even know about that. I'm actually going to have to put together something on the fly. Take it away with Smash JT, and I'll jump in if I can.
Yeah, so I mean, Smash JT. The reason I think he's the leader of a lot of this group is he's the one that puts out the article, and then
Now,
the rest
before it
of
was
them
trending.
read his article.
Huh? Yep.
Yep.
I'm saying currently, yes.
It. He could use a big wig. I do. I agree. There's one thing that bothers me watching his videos is what he does with his hands, like the up and down motion he constantly does. But he is, God, he's such a fucking moron. I don't know where to go into it without just trying to not call him a slur. He's a clout goblin. Like the only reason he jumped on Gamergate was because he
Amigo didn't work out for him. The
Amigo didn't work out for him. Well, you look far enough back, he was doing the cartridge games and stuff like that. It just looks like he was doing little fun stuff. But then once he put out whatever video it was that started his Gamergate cycle, he just full stomped into that. And now that's what he has to do. You've seen him even try and turn away from it, right?
Not really until McDizzle. Until McDizzle, I didn't see him turn away from it.
Well, that's what I mean. It was shortly after the McDizzle situation. He tried to make a comment that was less anti-woke, and his fans ate him alive for it, and he had to retract the statement.
I do remember that. I forget what the statement was, but I do remember something like that occurring. And now he's being surrounded. Like now he's being surrounded. He's putting himself in a position almost every night with his Smash JT live, just feeding into this bullshit.
Well, he's trying to do what streaming has become extremely popular. It's quick, easy, lazy money.
Yeah. Why does Asmongold do it? I think he does it for laziness more than money, but I'm sure the money is a good incentive.
Yeah. Smash got laughed out of the retro gaming community. I believe that because when you hear him talk about, if you look at Smash, he rarely actually ever talks about games. It's only ever about the wokeness of games or the side characters or anything like that. He never actually talks about the game. And has he ever played a game on stream or?
Yes, I remember seeing something. I've seen him do the Doom Dark Ages, and I think Hypnotic made fun of him for his DSP abilities. Was DSP?
Yeah.
he worse than any game journalist. I'm sure he would have crashed out as bad as Dean Takahashi. I think that was his name, who got laughed about Cuphead.
Yeah, it's kind of that thing, right? I'd put it in a mixed bag. See, I disagree there, gaming brethren.
No.
He's not even right most of the time. He absolutely twists whatever he can into a statement. Like even if we look at the most recent examples of it is, you know, him getting tricked by McDizzle. He doesn't care if the information is right. He just says it once it sounds good, right?
Oh,
Uh,
and Damage Sector asked him about a couple of things. I mean, so many people. Nick brought up that his excuse for why he went ahead with the Giga Bear stuff is he didn't do research. It's all about not doing research. Is his excuse for why he makes these
mhm,
mistakes. But I just think, and when you look at early in his career, how he sort of farmed the engagement, first he had, yeah, Allison DM my wife. Then when people built their stuff, I don't know if this was picked up originally by Smashed or if he picked it up from someone, like
mhm.
with that Scott thing at the very beginning of the stream.
Yeah. Well, he's incredibly malicious with the way he talks about subjects. Like even like I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Alyssa is a dumb bitch. Alyssa is a dumb bitch. Alyssa is a dumb bitch. Now that we've said that, when you look at the coverage of her and him, is he can take one tiny tweet and turn it into this major thing that he can talk about on stream for 30 minutes to an hour, 2 hours. It's he'll take whatever he can and twist it to be more than it is. Even with the McDizzle thing, is you know, he tried to put it all on McDizzle doxing the this
Person he found on
dev.
LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Okay. You put that guy's name out there. Okay. I
yeah,
agree. But he also farms off of the people who join in, like with the, as I said, I was looking for the name, Paul Scott uh, Caravan. When he might
yeah.
not even known this, not anything about it, and thought this was a good idea to go after these people because he believed Alyssa. Okay.
Hmm.
And I think it's bad precedent to say all the track down these guys' families and try to hold them accountable by tell their wives or their mothers or that. I think that's a bad precedence. Whatever.
Yeah, I think
But he
that's terrible.
retracted
But
it and they kept on harping on him. But Smash did take him off the list, but he still got shit.
mhm. Yeah,
And then
well,
there was
here's the thing is the hypocrisy. Like I agree, that guy white knighting and wanting people to call family members and stuff like that, that shit's absolutely terrible.
but it
Uh
was a gut
but Smash is
reaction
more than
and
willing
they
to do the same
farmed
thing.
it. And yeah, he'll pretend like he's not. He does this double speak thing most of the time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, no,
This
sometimes he flat out does. He'll flat out do it. He flat
Oh
out did
yeah,
it with
he does.
Dizzle.
But yeah, he will, but he'll point to other times where he doesn't. Where I always tell my no, you don't. Okay. Sometimes you do that, then justify the actions of the people afterwards.
Hmm. Well, it's like
Okay.
I think the biggest hypocrisy of it was he put McDizzle's real name out there. It technically wasn't a legal definition of a dox, but he
McDizzle got that
pushed.
wrong originally, but he was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay, you're right. That's not technically a dox." But then
but what
he'll
he did
still
do.
go when Grums say for the second time he claims to be doxed on the fucking Yellow Flash stream, he'll back that up. Okay, how's that a
Hmm.
dox? Your name is out there by
Yeah, we know who you
Smash's
are.
logic. Yes,
Well,
he doxed
so
McDizzle by Smash's logic.
his exact words with McDizzle was his name was already out there in the public domain. Then later on, something happened with Alyssa, and he said, if you use your audience to spread someone's name around, that is bad, which is the exact same thing, like
Yep.
word for word that he did to Smash. So that's
Yep.
I this is probably one of my most hated people. At least Andy Pants is so ridiculous that he's funny at times.
And
Like
Andy Pants doesn't really go after anyone in particular. Okay,
true, true. Like
he hits up the. I mean, even with the Ackman debate, despite how salty he got, he was pretty kosher with the Ackman. Okay, he
yeah.
completely tried to spin it around in that particular case, but the Hackman can take that. But
Yeah.
other cases, it's just like,
Like
go on.
Smash is more than willing to, like, I call him a serial doxer. He's more than willing to call people's works, at people's works. He has a history of going after people's jobs. There was around the what's it called, Dragon Age Veilguard
Okay.
situation. There was the one dumb bitch who came out and started, fighting with the anti-wokers on her stream and stuff like that. And I
Okay.
agree, if you say something online, prepare to get something
Yeah.
said back, right?
Yep.
And if you're gonna knock at the beehive that is the anti-woke, just prepare for that and don't complain about it when it
Yeah.
happens. But there was one dev, blue-haired wokey, wretched little blue-haired wokey, if you want to call it that just the only tweet they put out was, "I'm so proud I was a dev on Dragon Age Veilguard, like the day that it launched." And Smash blasted that to his audience, and they went after her, or
Jesus
him,
Christ.
or it.
I'm sure he said, don't harass this person, but ask him
No,
questions.
not even once.
What?
Yeah,
He didn't.
I don't think he did even once. Yeah, sorry to break the bubble there.
He
But Smash
probably did
usually
it.
doesn't say that.
Okay. That's what he
If Alyssa
claims. That's what
farts,
he claims. I'm trying to steal man Smash. Man, you really
yeah,
do seem to dislike him more than me. I'm just going off of his claims, his public claims.
yeah,
I completely.
yeah.
If you say he
Well,
didn't do it, I'm sure he
I'm
did it
becoming
later.
I'm becoming a Smash JTA log. So
Okay, thank God. I'm
uh,
tired of looking at his
uh,
shit. I'm glad other people
here's
are
a good
jumping
one.
on this.
Kamoji says, if Alyssa farts, Smash might think she's wants to send him to a German camp.
Sorry, I should be
Smash,
looking at
get on the
chat more.
train.
But
No, you're good, brother.
I am sort of looking at other stuff because I didn't do
Yeah.
truly my due diligence. Yeah,
I'll let it
God,
slide this time.
oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm keeping up.
Yeah.
I think I meant that one. Yeah, they wouldn't. Anti-woke would
But
never promote unless it suited their agenda. That guy's probably gone.
yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't be.
I personally
around.
think he belongs in the money clout thing because that's the only reason I can see him being in the game. He doesn't talk enough about the actual games. He
Yeah.
only talks about the wokeness around the games.
I'm fine with that, but before the overlap with that, I think you said enough about Smash. I have enough content on Smash. I went over his past and retro gaming on the stream, where one of the people I stream with came in and was like, "Why are you being so hard on Smash? I've talked with him. He's a good guy." I'm like, I'm just looking at his past. Based on his past, I don't trust the guy. This was months ago. Okay. And he's just gotten worse since then. I think he's just gone too far, and I don't think he can change his ways. He's do or die. I've seen recent sort of, maybe they clip chimped him. It is the clips from the ultimate A-loggers, the Legion of Airbagger, as I call them. But I don't think they did. They might claim it. But at the end of the day, and I'm on a weird place now. Okay, so we're back on here.
Well, we got to move on because I could rant about fucking.
No, there's a special section I have for these two special individuals. What does Smash call Alyssa? Because we're going into Alyssa now.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I think he calls.
Does
her
he
that
call
I'll probably
her a
can't say on
narcissist?
stream.
Does he
He
call
does
her
call her a narcissist.
Okay,
Yep.
this is what I want to
He
bring
calls her a
up.
narcissist. He calls her a doxer.
Okay, sorry, I
No,
threw
you're
this
good.
together. Okay, I have A in psychology. It's not enough to actually diagnose someone, but it definitely informs my worldview. So I thought this was funny. I thought this was very funny because Alyssa, he shows more signs of narcissistic personality disorders. I'm not saying he has it, guys. I'm just saying he meets the medical diagnosis for that better.
Well, there's the thing they say, like
empathy. I can't say empathy and want to admired by others. Would you say that Smash?
Oh, 100%. He lives off of it. Like,
they think they are better than others and that they deserve special treatment. Again,
mhm.
does that smash?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Alyssa would fit more into histrionic personality disorder if I was to diagnose her with any of these personality disorders, in
Yeah.
which a person is dramatic, has strong emotions, and always want attention from others. I think that
I
fits
mean,
her better. Even
but
fits
that's
the
because she's just a woman, and that's what every woman wants, right?
well, it's also narcissistic personality disorder. Generally, is more common in males than females. Sorry, I got to
Mhm.
get a little bit of geek stuff on here. MPD around in males comparison to 2%. And yeah, I believe these statistics matter. Histrionic, more common in females than males. Just wanted to make that argument. That goes more into this.
Yeah.
This is AI
She
slop.
could.
I'll admit that, but
Oh,
AI is good
yeah.
at
It's all right.
collecting this stuff for Google, at least.
Sometimes, yeah.
You don't
For
want
the
to
most part, it can be.
I remember what was his name? Someone in commentary got flack for calling for trying to diagnose Sniper Wolf with narcissism and
Oh, you're
doubling
talking
down on
about,
that. Nerd City. Okay.
Nerd City. Yeah, Nerd City.
He brought
I
in a
remember
fake sort
watching
of
that.
person. Yeah. And this
Yeah,
narcissist.
that was, I never wanna try and diagnose anybody because
No, but I'll joke
don't know
about
shit. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
joke about it, even though I
So,
even have a degree in it and I won't even literally diagnose. I'm willing to heavily apply and joke about it, but there's some ethical
I'd be
limits to that.
I'd be more willing to call, Alyssa what the internet calls every crazy woman, and that's a BPD.
Yeah, I don't think she's dumb. Okay. She's shown
Yeah.
some signs of cleverness,
Mhm.
but she's shown some completely unhinged behaviors. And she even admitted to going
Oh,
to
yeah.
a psychologist for it. I think she's completely unstable and is a crazy unhinged bitch at times, but I don't think she's dumb. I
Well, she's
think
the
she's
exact opposite of
I
Smash,
think
like, in the like,
yeah, the
she Smash.
histrionic, okay?
Yeah. So, she just wants, she's wanted the attention from her articles. Like, her articles were, typical woke dog shit about,
I'm putting her
you know,
there. Okay. She's sort of right
sexism
about
and
Smash. I there's no category. She definitely has the delusion, but it's like the worldview delusion. Okay. I
yeah.
I'm like she's a lot there's a she's
She's
not
not
most
doing it for clout.
I don't think she's doing it
She's
for
not.
clout. I don't think
No,
she's
I
doing
don't
it
think
for
she
clout
is.
as they are. But I don't know where to put her because
Like, I haven't liked Alyssa for a long time, but I like, the more and more information comes out, I really do think she did this lawsuit just because she wants Smash to stop talking about her. You know what I mean? And
there
I've
are
seen some of the
some
pictures. Like, a lot of the stuff that gets sent to her is absolutely harassment and illegal threats, you know?
yeah, but what about
Just
her her like talking about the trans I verify I actually got blocked on one of my accounts by trying to verify if that was her tweeting at Hypno saying she raised all that money, which Smash went around and said, "Oh, that suicide for trans people is a scam." No, it's not. You might disagree with it, and they definitely have a sketchy past. That's most organizations. You disagree with
yeah,
trans organizations doesn't make it a scam. Okay, sorry. Just because
true,
you think,
true.
look, I'm very skeptical about trans, but I come from it from a
Hey,
medical perspective. Okay.
just to be honest, just because you have spent 8 years on a video game that you say is gonna be complete, it's not necessarily a scam yet.
Okay, I disagree. If it was if it wasn't a scam, he could give us that leads us to Grum's
No higher
Green.
than mixed bagged. Her content is conduct is grossly unprofessional.
I'm
Yeah,
putting
I
him
can go
down
with there,
here.
but I don't. Yeah, uh, I can go.
Oh,
Yeah, no
yeah.
higher than a mixed bag. I could agree with that. Like,
On
this is where I
Twitter,
said she's
she's
the like.
unprofessional, but if you read her
Well,
articles, like with the farm folk
mhm.
thing, she actually did. After that CEO complained about being misquoted, she literally amended it to have the whole conversation below. I think
Okay.
her articles, she's biased as all hell. And Kotaku's staff
Right. Right.
is fucking biased as all hell. They probably be, I don't know. I'm not going to good faith her and say that she wanted to bring up the fact that they got struck by Chris Kendrick and that's why it happened. But I do know it's implied from what I read in Tachyon Blue's book that yeah, the staff was discouraging bringing that up in any of their articles. That still makes
Well, and
them bad journalists, in my opinion. But
right. But what about, like, Broach brought up a good point? What about when she was talking about, or not, Gaming Brethren brought it up? What about when she was talking about violence on live TV and stuff like that?
yeah,
The kind of idea, like, I could see it being more of a mixed bag where she might be doing good journalism to a point, even if it's incredibly
okay,
biased. But then
fair
she
enough.
does do things like call somebody's wife,
Yeah,
talk about wanting to do violence. So I don't think she should go lower than that personally.
okay,
Uh,
I
I don't
agree.
think she's
Just because
necessarily
she's right about
delusional and she's not doing it
Smash.
for clout.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because you're right about the whole violence thing. I didn't actually watch that. I just know they memed it. Okay, I'm sure she was
Hmm.
playing it up. Keemstar got involved with that
Yeah.
and tried to set up something between her and Savvy, or was it Vera Dark? I don't even fucking remember.
I don't
Yeah,
remember either.
that was
So, I
fucked
mean,
up.
I can generally get away with thank you, think that's fair. You're welcome, gaming. I could take a look at it and take a different look, even if I hate somebody and I want to put her way down on the bottom.
That's good. Yeah,
She um
yeah.
I don't
Let's
say
put
that
her
I
there
hate her. I
until we
think she's a
decide, because she's really a no one. But Smash turned her into
I
a
mean, I could
someone for
say
their
mixed
side.
bag.
I
I
am
think
putting her
mixed
in
bag is
mixed bag.
fair. Yeah.
Mixed bag,
She's
okay.
fair.
Yeah, I
Bear
still
took her
think
up on it and another creator too. She also has
yeah,
this really retarded habit of going into these guys' streams and
yeah,
then saying a bunch of shit and running.
yeah.
So, to me,
Hard
that's
to
like, I
defend
did
her.
that once.
It's
I
like
did that once
baiting.
with Will of the Fan
Yeah, why waste your time? I guess you were
because he was like the first little guy I was looking into. I was doing this thing where I was trying to learn more about the little guys because I only knew about the big
I
dudes,
I like
and
that.
he was one of the first one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to do it. You got to look at you can't just look at the top. You got to look downwards sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've been
Yeah.
on this so long. I've actually seen these people grow. So they were the little guys.
Mhm.
So all these fucking new people, I'm like, I don't care about you, okay? I've been covering this longer than your asses. So what the fuck should I pay attention to you? You're different. You came into it. You came into
I
it
did.
recently, which is good. I've been seeing all sorts of new people. I've been seeing people be more vocal and get more attention, more clout off of this. I don't care about any of that shit. I just think it's an interesting case study to me. I don't need any clout off of this shit. I just want
Yeah.
fucking anti woke to fucking man up and start talking to the other side. I can be a bridge for them. To be fair, most of the woke people don't like me, but like you, they'll follow and retweet me and give me a like when I say something they agree with. They don't care about me at the end of the day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't care about
Yeah.
that. I keep true to what I see as the truth. And I try to
Yeah.
mitigate that as much as I can.
Well, I think the truth is a good part of it. The problem is the truth doesn't usually lead to clicks and views if
Yeah, it
that's what
doesn't
you're
get you
going for. So
power.
it's a lot easier to
Doesn't get you
just
power.
say what makes people happy. Yeah. I could have
Team
came onto this
sports.
scene and just started gassing up Asmongold and maybe I would eventually get
Probably
seen,
not.
but
I mean, you
probably
could
not.
have potentially, but very unlikely. A lot of people are trying to
Yeah.
gas up Asmongold. It's a tension
Yeah, I think
economy
everyone
which
does.
we're going on. But yeah, that's where Allison grums. I guess we get to that loser now. So much wrong with him. I've seen so much
He just
bad
has a
faith from him. Okay. He definitely does.
yeah.
He plays into the demonization. And anyone
Hmm.
from his side who turns against him, like there's Packer girl. I saw her supporting him, and all suddenly he has this weird censorship take that she disagrees with, so she takes a principle stance, so she gets blasted, even though
Mhm.
she's still on the anti-woke side. She just hates Grums, and there's a lot of people like that.
Mhm.
That's just with how he conducts himself. You add in the Ember 8 scam, yeah, it is a scam. He could easily just show receipts of what he did with the money. You know why he doesn't?
Because he has already spent the money and he doesn't want people to see what he spent it on.
Probably. I don't know.
So
Okay, I'm not going to say
I
I know,
was
but I will say if he was being transparent, he would show what he did with that money.
yeah.
And
So I
Foxy,
mean,
go on.
I said when it comes to Grums, like I've known Grums as a shitty dev back during the uh
Were you a
Firefall
WoW
bus,
player?
right?
Oh no, Firefall.
Oh no, I
I
wasn't a
didn't play.
WoW player, but I looked at a lot of gaming stuff back then. Like I was
Uh,
interested in a lot of the original GamerGate and things like that. And I was always looking at bad devs. The whole start of it for a lot of people was games being slop and gaming industry and gaming journalists gassing up these games so that they
mm,
could get access to them, access journalism, right? And
yeah.
so I remember seeing Firefall being a complete fucking mess, and it made the news all over the place, the Firefall bus. So I was like, oh, look, perfect example of shit devs that don't need to be in the gaming industry. And then I turn around years later and Grums is the centerpiece for the anti-woke. But I'm like, this guy has a history of failed gaming endeavors over and over and over again. The only thing he can hold on to is his Blizzard connection. And even then, you look at what he was a team lead. So what did he actually accomplish besides keeping the people who are making the game on track? His
Yeah,
degree is in contracts and stuff like that, contract lawyer kind of thing.
that's his after degree. He got it in cognitive, but he got it in cognitive science also.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
basically
he's the very epitome.
those guys from the gaming industry got Vegas people to come in, and that's
Mhm.
how they fine tune the sort of the gotcha mechanics, loot
Yeah.
boxes, everything that all gamers like. No, we don't, unless you're Giga Bear Panda. I've seen him actually defend that sort of predatory monetization once. I think he probably deleted it. He's like, whales is what keeps the industry going, but let's not go off that. That Grum's dick,
Jesus Christ.
obsessive Grum's dick rider. All you need to do is
Yeah.
give him attention, give him clout. Let's not do it
I
anymore.
think he blocked me because I called him an F slur on X.
Okay, okay. Fair enough.
He made a really dumb comment. We made a few comments back and forth, and when I could see he was just a complete
No,
retard, I called him an F
Anthem
slur.
looks more legit, and I agree, though, which is
Anthem
horrible.
looks woo. That's cold, Red
I
Stain. That
tried
is
playing
that
it.
is
I tried
cold.
playing it. I think I got it for free on PlayStation Store.
I played Anthem for a few
I
weeks,
didn't go
and
too
then
far.
yeah,
I like
me and my
Warframe better
friends were super
personally.
excited about it. Well, I was a huge
Oh,
BioWare
really?
fan.
Okay,
Hmm.
understand. I can respect
Yeah,
BioWare's past. Hell, I even
yeah,
met one of the guys who worked on what was it, BioShock. I'm like, you worked on BioShock? That is so fucking cool. If you met someone who worked on Anthem, what would you say to them? Be like, do you still have work anymore?
yeah. Right. Like, oh, you worked on Anthem? What is that?
Or that, yes.
Uh,
But I've talked enough about Grums. I actually found
yeah,
out Dead Domain talked about Grums before me. Never knows best, but within this space, I was one of the first people who fucking pointed out all the fucked up things. But
yeah.
okay, I even had a certain person that I don't want to talk about come on and try to gas me up about Gamergate. There's very reactionary. I still get reaction. I still talk to anti-woke people and get this reactionary thing. Like, oh, the left's done this and that. I'm like, yeah, you want to fight fire to fight. You want to fight fire with fire. That's what I've been seeing happen. I'm like, yeah, if you wanted to just get them out of the space, go for the big ones, I'd be absolutely fine with it. But you're going with these low, no nonsense people. Why? Because you can work your way up to bigger things. That's what I think. I think Grums is a very calculated individual who knows that he would fail without this blindly. I think he's a prisoner. Okay. I think he's
Well,
fine with being a prisoner of.
he didn't come to prominence because he's stupid, right? He came to prominence because he knew how to work these people and get them to believe in him, right? It is, you know, I don't know, and he did it by kind of hiding his past. Like, I would know Grums. I didn't know Grums was that dev from the past, but I remember making fun of the Matt Kern and then forget Mark Kern and then forgetting his name, right? Because he was a failed dev, don't want to ever see him anymore. And then realizing it was the same guy I was making fun of, I can see where people would get tricked by this new guy coming in and saying he's going to save gaming. He's got his own game coming out that he's taken, you know.
Oh, he didn't make that very prominent. Okay. He did that on the down low. He actually used as a point against Nick at one point. Like, wouldn't I be promoting my game more? I'm like, no. He was like, no, you're trying to get them in your Discord, then you sell them. Okay. This is what a snake oil salesman. They don't do it face up. They wait until they get a sucker in the door and try to give them a raw deal. And the one thing that I definitely respect, even though it's a little bit lame with Sid Alpha, is calling out fucking Grums for his sort of, what was a subscription, that he couldn't leave the subscription model. I still think he should make the game, but I think Sid Alpha is having problems in life. He also dealt with Acer Thorn, and that guy. Even if I fight a lot with a certain YouTuber who also hates Acer Thorn, I'll still side with that YouTuber who fucking hates me because I criticized him in his 8-hour video over Acer Thorn's fucking schizo ass. I've tried to talk to Acer Thorn. He's just died in the wool, but let's not get too far off that.
Yeah.
I
think with Sid Alpha too, is he's gone after, you know, these
I think he tries
bad gaming companies. Yeah. Well, and then, you know, and with going into the after bad game companies, you end up getting sued. These guys who are making basically scam games are probably going to sue you. So I imagine that's pretty draining for him as well. I know he's gone through at least one with one of the companies that he was dogging on. But the problem is his coverage tends to be more fair. Like when I watched his old Dirty Dev stuff, it's not just, you know, you look at a lot of these characters on here, they just say stuff, right?
Yeah. There's no substance. They just build up drama or outrage, like Asmongold with his political crap.
Yeah. But people like Sid will at least try and do Sid and
due diligence. Okay. He has a bias towards he has a bias towards the anti-woke, which I understand. I think he's more I think he's a little bit more captured by that and his emotions. And that's to be understand. So I don't even think.
Well, when you
go on,
I'll say, well, when you go, I keep interrupting you. My bad. When you do something like him, where you're going after bad game devs, you get in. It's the same thing as being on the anti-woke side. You don't want to. You don't want to turn around and start defending devs. Like, no one wants to defend Ubisoft.
No, because I don't want to defend Alista or any of these woke people.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
But when they have the facts on their side and have the better arguments, mainly because the other side don't even have arguments. Smash JT, Alyssa's saying you're harassing her by doing all these videos. You turn around and be like, no, you're the one harassing me.
That's kind of the difference between it.
Why?
But anyway.
Why? Yeah. Okay. So
good coverage doesn't tend to get you views, though.
No, but we're doing just a fun tier list. Okay, Grums. I
He's a
don't think
clout
any
goblin.
of these categories could describe really how much
Yeah.
of a con
Well,
man he
he's
is. So I think this is the
yeah,
best
he's
category you
clearly a
got.
con man. He's clearly in it for the money. I mean, you look at his history; it's all about finding some way to make money.
I also
His
think
old
it's for
Debbie
the
Chan
defense.
line.
I think
Yeah.
it's also for the defense, the Grum's defense force. The same thing as
Oh
Smash.
yeah.
Why
Yeah.
Smash is stuck in. Hypnotic can pivot out. He might lose a lot, but we've all
He'll
admitted that
gain. He's entertaining. He'll gain an audience back.
yes, we really think, despite how malicious you think he is, and how um, what a fake and brain dead his thoughts are. Yeah, he's entertaining. He could take his stick now that he's big enough and move on to something else in theory. He's good at networking, a lot of things. She could do the same. Kirsch could do the same. Rev and Andy, no, they need the low tier shit, I think, to keep in. They're stuck
Yeah.
here.
Well,
These two could
Indy.
get out
Yeah.
if they want. None of these guys, I think, he could go back to lowly defense force, but that's tough now. In
He would
society,
lose
as
a
that
lot of
is,
views though.
he would lose a lot of views. He would stay relevant. These
Mhm.
guys would probably get what the fuck. I mean, Indy might be able to do something else. These two are locked in.
Yeah.
At the end
Gaming
of the
Brethren
day,
says our mission includes that too, but we try the direct approach. We want market victories for everybody where gamers win. I think there's a lot of people, like I've seen some of your stuff on X and things like that. And I think there's a lot of people that feel that like gamers just want games to be good and have
yeah,
fun with them.
I
Most
don't
people
want.
aren't on the side of all women have to be hot. Most people aren't on the side of,
I'd rather them be
you
hot, but
know,
I don't need it.
yeah, yeah. So
It's also
gamers
context.
want true,
Oh,
true. Gamers just want to play games, and we
yeah.
tend to be the most vicious group when you come after our games. It's happened with the gaming causes violence. It's happened with we've kicked
I'm
political
hoping
people
to
out
have Craig
before.
Ferguson on, one of the guys who helped. I need to find the right topic, and he's actually a presentable person, so I don't know why the fuck he would go on, but he's gone on Tachyon Blue. I respect the man for the research he did to dispel that myth. Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
Anyone watching
yeah.
that, look it up. You might disagree with him because he's sort of an old fuddy-duddy research nerd, but you got
Hmm.
to respect him for some of his research to dispel some of those
Yeah.
myths. Sorry, that got brought
No,
up.
you're good. Yeah.
Okay,
So
then.
it is what it is. Who's this last person, by the way?
Oh! I do have one more person. Hitler waifu did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong. I mean,
Hitler
how can you
waifu did nothing wrong. Very
nothing wrong?
positive reviews, overwhelmingly positive. Hitler waifu did.
Where?
That's how you fucking do an edgy joke. Okay, it has a good hook. Hitler did
That's
nothing
pretty
wrong.
funny.
Boring, overused. Hitler waifu, much better. Okay. Yeah, that was my ending bit. Okay. Hitler waifu did nothing wrong. She is
I
greater
mean,
than all of these guys, and JDA probably wants to fuck her. Most of these guys probably want to fuck
guaranteed,
her. Who the
guaranteed,
hell
100%.
knows how many? I'm not gonna.
I
Except
mean, I'm not
for
an
G.
anime dude, but put on a Hitler outfit and
Sorry, you actually missed the action because I wait. JDA probably wants to fuck her. You didn't see that.
yeah,
Probably just to get into the did nothing wrong thing. But yeah, at the end
yeah.
of the day, that's the tier list. Fun enough, right, guys? Probably not. Okay, I like the
Hmm.
idea. I hope there was a lot of fun ideas, a lot of other crap. And this stream took. I managed to pull out almost 3 hours from this tier list, and I gotta thank War Gaming Daddy for that. Plug yourself out, man.
Hey, again, I'm Wargaming Dad. I like to yap, so it gets long. I talk about subjects on my channel, usually tend with the gaming side. I also like to play some games occasionally. I think this Monday I'm gonna play a game that the audience has wanted me to play. So if you want to, or not Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday is my normal streaming time. So come by. We can talk about anti-woke.
Thank you.
I brought on a few wokies. I need to find an anti-wokey to bring on.
Okay,
That's me.
maybe I can help you grab one. I know quite a few anti-woke people. They
Oh
tend to
yeah.
be a little bit unstable, like the guy who popped up earlier with
Oh,
the
trust
doc.
me.
This guy, he's come on and actually defended Grums early on when I've had criticism. Okay, he still talks to me most of the time, but he sort of shadows me out. Everyone knows it's my channel. I don't know. I'm a madman with the YouTube channel. Who knows what I'm going to do next? I'm going to stick with the stuff if there's news, because just calling me names ain't going to get me away if there's something interesting to talk about in the scene. But I don't focus entirely on any of that crap because life's too short to let the haters bring you down. Enjoy games, whatever media. Yeah, the wokies, the leftists will go after this shit. It's actually calmed down some, and now the writers are coming in, and it's just insane to me. And that's all
Yeah,
I got to say
it's
on that.
completely changed subjects.
Good night and farewell.